Chapter 39-34. Attack. The Fire Phoenix controlled the yin-yang mirror while executing a peerless sword technique. The terrifying flames transformed into phoenixes one after another, rushing over. On the other side, the man from the Peacock race activated the Black Seal while executing the Peacock race's ultimate technique. They would not let the other party kill the Golden Rock. Lin Xian was still not afraid. His body emitted a Tai Chi symbol. The terrifying power of yin and yang filled the world. Moreover, he had the divine body, the dragon sword soul, and an unparalleled secret skill. Each of them was a peerless divine ability. Therefore, at this moment, his power was at its peak. Boom! He punched out with the power of yin and yang, accompanied by the roar of a dragon. It directly knocked away the sword chi that filled the sky and charged towards the Fire Phoenix. The Fire Phoenix screamed and unleashed an even more terrifying sword light to block the attack. However, she was so scared that she broke out in cold sweat. Every attack from the other party was a great threat to her. At this moment, the man from the Peacock race also charged over. His five-colored divine light could sweep through everything. However, Lin Xian waved his hand. The power of Tai Chi and the stellar shift were like 4 ounces moving 1,000 caddies. The five-colored divine light was pushed aside by him and directly charged towards the Golden Rock. The Golden Rock had just stopped his injuries when he saw the five-colored divine light. He quickly blocked it. However, he was still forced back and vomited blood again. Ah, damn it, you attacked me. He stared at the man from the Peacock race with murderous intent. The man from the Peacock race also had a cold expression. Look carefully, it's not me who hit you. It's this kid's strange attack. Humph. The Golden Rock was very cold and did not say anything else. He had experienced this kind of strange attack before. Last time, he was injured by this attack, so his expression was extremely cold. Everyone, let's attack together. An earth-shattering power was displayed. The 3 great experts attacked together, and the entire world shook. Only Lin Xian was extremely powerful. He had mastered the power of yin and yang and could use Tai Chi. Otherwise, any other expert would have died here. The more Lin Xian fought, the braver he became. His use of Tai Chi also became more and more proficient. Not only could the Tai Chi art mobilize the power of yin and yang, but it could also use softness to overcome hardness. In fact, he could even control the situation first and stop it with an action. Too powerful. These were all manifestations of the great Tao. Lin Xian felt that he had entered a new realm. For example, at this moment, he stood in the void without moving. Facing the powerful attacks of the 3, his eyes were sharp. When the attacks were about to reach him, he moved. This movement was like a sudden clap of thunder that tore through everything. He sent all of these forces flying. A terrifying fist blasted out. Sometimes, he would go berserk, making it impossible for people to guard against him. The 3 experts were beaten until their auras were tumbling. Sometimes, their bodies even split apart. They complained bitterly. It was also because of them that they had obtained the powerful yin-yang treasures, as well as the great fortune of the past year. Otherwise, they would have died without a burial ground. However, even with that being the case, they still felt that they would not be able to last for long. It wouldn't be long before the 3 of them were completely defeated. When they thought of this possibility, the 3 of them couldn't believe it. Was the other party already so heaven-defying? The 5-colored divine light washed everything. The Peacock man shouted loudly, and his entire body emitted a 5-colored light, forming a 5-colored world. It was dazzling, and the aura of the great Tao filled the air. At this moment, he was finally going to use the Peacock race's ultimate divine ability. The 5-colored world pressed down from the sky, wanting to envelop Lin Xian. The Peacock race controlled the 5-colored divine light, which could wash everything in the world. At this moment, the Peacock man was displaying his strength to the extreme. Lin Xian used the Taiji art. The Taiji art spun and blocked the other party's 5-colored divine light. At this moment, the Golden Rock also charged over. True feather. He roared, and 2 primordial stone feathers flew out from his 2 wings, carrying the power of his bloodline. They were much more powerful than ordinary sacred artifacts. Moreover, as they intertwined with each other, they formed 2 ultimate attacks. This time, they even hid their tracks. It was impossible to guard against them. Phoenix danced for 9 days. The Fire Phoenix also used a peerless divine ability. Accompanied by the Phantom of the Phoenix, she slashed down with her long sword. The three of them didn't hold back at all. Was this a life-and-death battle? They didn't expect the three of them to be forced to such a state. The people in the distance retreated frantically. You want to end this quickly? I'll grant you your wish. Lin Xian roared, and the Taiji art on his body erupted with an unparalleled light. The law of death in his left hand formed a black moon, and the law of sun in his right hand formed a dazzling sun. His hands crossed, forming a terrifying yin-yang ball. This power was too terrifying, enough to destroy everything. Kill. With a roar, the yin-yang qi that filled the sky completely erupted at this moment. Lin Xian was like a yin-yang war god, forcefully splitting open the sky. An earth-shattering sound was heard, and the entire place was completely drowned out. Even the entire 8 trigrams shook violently. At this moment, the people in the other spaces were also shocked. Damn it, what was happening? They were all terrified. The spectators screamed in unison. This attack should be enough to determine the winner. The terrifying energy lasted for a long time before slowly dissipating. 3 figures appeared. They were the Peacock, the Golden Rock, and Huafeng. The 3 of them were pale, and they were breathing heavily. Is he dead? The 3 of them frowned. The power was too strong. Yes, if they had known, they would have held back. They would have kept his soul and tortured out the yin-yang origin energy to pass on their inheritance. Huafeng also frowned. The Peacock Man said, "No, he shouldn't have died so easily. Just like how he died, the remaining flesh and blood on his body can also allow us to explore his secrets." A biting cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. The 3 of them began a search, but soon they felt their hair stand on end. The Golden Rock screamed, and the great rock spread its wings, displaying extreme speed. However, he was sent flying by a slap. His body shattered, and countless golden feathers fluttered in all directions. The Golden Rock's entire body was smashed into a bloody mist. This attack was too powerful. How was this possible? Who did it? Huafeng screamed, and the Peacock Man's hair stood on end. He wrapped his battle robe around his body. In the next moment, they saw a person who looked like a god fiend walk out. "It's you. You're not dead." They saw Lin Xian. But what shocked them was that not only was Lin Xian not dead, but the aura on his body had become even more terrifying. All kinds of heaven and earth phenomena surrounded him. Lin Xian didn't say anything. The attack just now had also injured him. However, this angered him even more. He attacked forcefully, jumping out like a giant dragon. He charged towards Huafeng. Damn it! The flames of war were burning the plains. Her long sword danced, and flaming sword qi filled the sky. Chapter 39-35. Lin Xian was incomparably powerful. He struck out a wave of sword qi and blocked the other party's blazing prairie. At the same time, he used the Kuren Ping's speed to the extreme and arrived behind the Fire Phoenix. The Taiji diagram in his hand flew out like a peerless sword. It split the Fire Phoenix in half. The Fire Phoenix screamed, scared out of her wits. She quickly retreated with a bloody mist. Lin Xian stomped his foot again and charged towards the man from the Peacock clan. "How dare you?" The man from the Peacock clan suddenly recalled the 5-colored world and surrounded his body. He said coldly like a ruler, "I am invulnerable. You can't kill me." Sure enough, the surrounding aura was swept away by the 5-colored divine light. This was the Peacock clan's bloodline ability. Invulnerable? Humph, are you sure? Lin Xian sneered. Today, he would break the other party's ability. He charged over aggressively. The yin and yang in the sky all turned into terrifying sword qi and fell crazily with his movements. The 5-colored world trembled and was about to collapse. The man from the Peacock clan also roared at the sky. "Block it." The 5-colored divine light swept out like a storm and blocked the sword qi. Did he succeed? The people in the distance exclaimed in surprise. The Fire Phoenix and the Golden Rock also quickly recovered. Hope was restored in their eyes. "Lin Wudi, you are not invincible. I can block your yin and yang. The man from the Peacock clan stood in the five-colored world and roared coldly. Is that so? Then can you block this sword? The great dragon sword spirit in Lin Xin's body roared. The yin and yang sword chi turned into a giant dragon and rushed down crazily. Its power was even stronger than before. Some of the five-colored divine light in the five-colored world were actually split open. Some were directly destroyed. How is this possible? You can actually destroy my five-colored divine light. The man from the Peacock clan screamed. He couldn't believe it. The five-colored divine light of the Peacock clan was known to sweep through everything and be invulnerable. What could be destroyed? How did the other party do it? The Golden Rock and the Fire Phoenix also screamed at this moment. The surrounding people were even more shocked. Lin Xian snorted coldly. So what? Open up. The giant dragon roared again and again, and the yin-yang taiji on his body became even more powerful. The sword chi was completely under his control. At this moment, he was not only the yin-yang war god, but also the sword ruler. The sword soared into the sky, destroying everything in its path. In the end, the five-colored divine lights were all sent flying. The five-colored world was also split open. The man from the Peacock race quickly fled. Damn it! He placed the yin-yang seal in front of him and retreated quickly. Kill. Lin Xian waved his hand and used stellar transposition to send the seal flying into the distance. He didn't pay any attention to him at all. Instead, he chased after him in a frenzy. Damn it! The man from the Peacock race broke out in cold sweat when he saw the other party chasing after him so easily. He spread his peacock wings and soared into the sky. He wanted to leave this place completely. However, this time, the yin-yang hand reached out and sealed off the area. At the same time, Lin Xian made a strong move. A huge foot stomped down on his head. How dare you? How dare you provoke me like this? The man from the Peacock race was furious. He raised his hand and shot out a five-colored divine light. Terrifying laws filled the air, but he could not block it at all. His palm instantly shattered. Half of his body also caved in. Damn it! The battle robe on his body emitted a terrifying light that completely enveloped his body. Only then did he dodge the attack. Then, Lin Xian launched a frenzied attack, hitting Mr. Peacock until he vomited blood. Useless brat, my battle robe is unparalleled. Although you can injure me, you can't kill me. At the same time, he roared, why aren't you two attacking? This was a good opportunity. In the distance, the Golden Rock and the Fire Phoenix stood up again. They held their swords and sabers and rushed over quickly. Indeed, Mr. Peacock attracted the firepower. The two of them might have a chance to launch a sneak attack. In front, Lin Xian sneered. I can't break your defense. You're too naive. If you had a divine body or a sacred body, you might be able to do it. However, you think you can block my attack with just a battle robe? What a joke. I'll let you know what despair is. Lin Xian's palm struck out a terrifying death law. Cultivating the Tai Chi diagram could not only fuse yin and yang to form Tai Chi, but it could also be used alone. It was just like the five elements law. It could be gathered and dispersed. Moreover, the power of a single law was far greater than before. At this moment, Lin Xian's death law had become stronger than before. Black chains appeared and locked the other party's body. At the same time, they began to deprive the other party of his vitality. Although the saint's battle robe was strong, it could not block the death law. The peacock was terrified. The five-colored divine light protected his body. In the end, he began to burn his bloodline to barely block it. However, he was already crying in fear. Lin Xian's eyes erupted with a golden light blade that pierced towards the other party's soul. The man from the peacock race screamed. His soul was severely injured again. Damn it, he was completely terrified. How could the other party be so strong? The other party's physique, laws, and even soul were all top-notch. He had never seen such a person before. One had to know that although the strong were powerful, they would always have one ultimate technique that they were good at. Although the others were outstanding, they were far inferior to that ultimate technique. The Fire Phoenix sword technique was superb, the Golden Rock was fast, and the saber technique could destroy everything. They were incomparably violent. As for him, His five-colored divine light could wash everything away and make him invulnerable. These were all their peerless divine powers. However, Lin Xian was different. Every one of his divine powers seemed to be a peerless divine ability. Whether it was physique, eye techniques, or laws, they were all top-notch. He seemed to have no weaknesses. Such a person was simply invincible. Buzz. Lin Xian struck out with the Great Destruction Spear. The power of Tai Chi poured into the great dragon sword soul. At the same time, he kept using his unparalleled secret technique to deal 5 times the damage. This attack was really powerful to the extreme. The man from the peacock race was sent flying. The battle robe on his body also had cracks. No, he was too terrified. His unparalleled defensive treasure was about to be broken. His heart was bleeding. At the same time, he frantically struck out the 5-colored divine light in an attempt to escape. He couldn't continue fighting. Another shocking attack pierced through the armor. The body of the man from the peacock race was penetrated and nailed in the void. The Golden Rock and Huafeng, who had just arrived, also stopped when they saw this scene. They were dumbfounded. Everyone around was completely stunned. The saint's battle robe was broken. The peacock man was penetrated. Lin Wudi was too strong. He was really defying the heavens. The man from the peacock bamboo roared at the sky. "You dare to kill me? Our peacock bright king saint will not let you off. Is that so? Then when you go to hell, you must remember my name. My name is Lin Wudi. Don't find the wrong person." Lin Xian's long spear directly shattered the other party's body. The power of death directly extracted the other party's soul. Chapter 39-36. His bloodline and soul dimmed. At this moment, the dragon-shaped sword Qi rushed out and destroyed the last trace of life. A broken battle robe fell from the sky. What came with it was fresh blood. It pierced through the sky. The other party was completely killed. There was no way he could survive. He was dead. The surrounding people were horrified. Many of them knelt on the ground. How could such a powerful expert of the peacock race be killed? The fire phoenix was stunned. The golden rock trembled. He screamed and turned to run. At this moment, he used his bloodline talent to the extreme. The golden rock turned into a stream of light and fled into the distance. He didn't dare to attack again. The surrounding people couldn't believe that the golden rock had actually escaped. Moreover, it had used its maximum speed to escape. Lin Xian didn't chase after him. He activated the heavenly secret child prodigy. A pair of golden eyes in the sky locked down like the eyes of a god. He shot out a golden light pattern and marked the golden rock. As long as the mark was there, even if the other party escaped to another world, he could still see him clearly and hunt him down. In other words, no matter how far the other party escaped, he would be under his control. Therefore, Lin Xian turned to look at the fire phoenix. He would kill the fire phoenix first, then go after the golden rock. He wouldn't let any of these 3 people go. "What are you trying to do?" The fire phoenix was nervous when she saw Lin Xian's gaze. She said coldly, "Kid, you may have defeated me, but it's impossible for you to kill me. I'm from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. If you don't ask around, who would dare to touch the 10,000 Swords Pavilion?" Even though Huafeng was injured and covered in blood, she still raised her chin and exuded an aura of nobility. She was exactly the same as the arrogant 10,000 Swords Pavilion youth from before. Lin Xian laughed when he saw this. Indeed, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion was full of arrogance. Your junior brother before you already showed off in front of me. He even used an expert on the sage list to suppress me. But do you know what happened to him? The fire phoenix was stunned when she heard Lin Xian's words. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion youth in the distance trembled. He quickly lowered his head, wishing he could find a hole to hide in. Seeing this scene, the fire phoenix had a bad feeling in her heart. She asked coldly, "What was the result? Did you attack him? Do you want to die?" She was about to go crazy from anger. Someone dared to provoke their 10,000 Swords Pavilion? They really didn't know how to write the word death. "No, I didn't attack him at all. I merely killed an expert from the great desolate mansion in front of him. I'll let him know that no genius on the pilgrim rankings can threaten me, not to mention suppressing me." So, when he saw this scene, He obediently knelt down and begged for mercy. "If you kneel down and beg for mercy, I can give you a quick death." "What?" The flame phoenix screamed in disbelief. The disciples of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were kneeling. How could this be? Their 10,000 Swords Pavilion was full of sword saints. Back then, when someone injured one of their core disciples, they could send out countless sword saints to destroy that person's world. Now, Lin Wuti dared to provoke them? What made him even angrier was that the other party actually wanted him to kowtow and apologize. What a joke. The flame phoenix screamed, "Die!" This sound wave turned into countless sword waves that slashed out in all directions. The whole world seemed to be split open. The power was incomparably terrifying. Everyone was shocked. Even if the flame phoenix was injured, she wasn't someone that any sage could provoke. Such a person was too strong. "Humph." Lin Xian snorted and waved his hand. The terrifying power of yin and yang erupted. The Taiji diagram appeared in the sky and suppressed all the sword qi. He said, "Previously, the three of you couldn't even defeat me when you attacked me together, let alone now. Damn brat, do you dare to compete with me in swordsmanship?" The flame phoenix knew that she would definitely die, but she still had a chance. In the past year, the power of her sword law had increased, and her swordsmanship had become more powerful than before. So, she wanted to fight for a chance. "You're no match for me in swordsmanship. You couldn't defeat me a year ago. Do you think you can turn the tables now?" Lin Xian shook his head. The flame phoenix snorted. "What do you mean? You don't dare to? Trying to provoke me? Fine, I'll let you die knowing. So what if it's swordsmanship?" The surrounding people were stunned. Changtian, this Lin Wuti didn't use his advantage in the laws and wanted to compete with the other party in swordsmanship? Did he really think that he was invincible? The Flame Phoenix was a top expert in the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Her swordsmanship was unparalleled. Could this Lin Wuti defeat her? These people didn't believe it. The Flame Phoenix was also stunned. But soon, she sneered. Humph, the other party was too arrogant. She would let him see her improvement in the past year. With a cold shout, countless flaming sword chi danced around her. Sky-burning swordsmanship. The terrifying sword chi was displayed once again. Its power was indeed much stronger than a year ago. Your improvement? Humph, Lin Xian sneered. How would you know my improvement in the past year? Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. In the past year, he didn't just cultivate Tai Chi of the 9 primordial blood essences that he obtained. 4 of them were swallowed by the Great Dragon Sword Soul. This allowed the Great Dragon Sword Soul to recover further. So now, his swordsmanship had far surpassed before. In the next moment, the Flame Phoenix made her move. With a wave of his sword, countless flaming sword chi descended from the sky, bringing with it a brilliant radiance. The sword chi was piercingly cold, piercing through the 9 heavens. The youth of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion clenched his fists. Their senior sister Flame Phoenix would definitely not lose in swordsmanship. Lin Xian snorted and waved his hand. Countless swords also flew out. These sword chi were extremely sharp, piercing through the sky like the swords of a god. Their swords collided and clashed in the sky, sweeping across the area. The surrounding people were all stunned. Did this Lin Wuti really only use sword chi to fight against the other party? He was too confident. I don't think he can last more than 10 moves. Someone came to a conclusion. But soon, they were stunned, because they realized that 30 moves had already passed. Not only did Lin Xian's sword chi not break, but it became stronger and stronger. Damn it, why was the other party's sword chi so sharp? Could it be that he was also a sword saint? No, he didn't have the law of the sword. He was just a swordsman. How could a swordsman without the law of the sword defeat a terrifying sword saint like Flame Phoenix? Everyone felt that they were going crazy. Without the law of the sword, the attack power of the two was not on the same level at all. But why was Lin Wuti able to block it? Flamephoenix's face was also cold. It was the same situation again. A year ago, she was defeated by the other party. Now that her strength had increased greatly, she was still not a match for the other party. Especially in the sword domain, she was suppressed again. This was unbearable. Chapter 39-37. Sky-burning Nirvana slash. Huofeng screamed as the sword chi on her body jumped. Each one was like a mountain. Murderous intent surged from above as it slashed down. The power was too strong. The surrounding people were terrified. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. Let's end this. 9 suns opened the sky. Countless sword chi condensed, and the golden sword soared into the sky, colliding with the other party's terrifying sword light. The two collided, and heaven and earth collapsed. This power was too terrifying. It was as if it could crush the heavens. Puff. Huofeng couldn't block it at all. The fiery red sword in the sky only lasted for a moment before it shattered. A figure was sent flying backward. Huofeng was really injured. Heavens, how could it be? She actually lost to Lin Wudi in swordsmanship. Wasn't she a sword sage? She couldn't beat Lin Wudi even with sword laws? This Lin Wudi was really too heaven-defying. Impossible. The youth from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion screamed crazily. Senior Sister Huofeng actually lost? This made him unable to believe it. Huofeng flew out and landed on the ground, spitting out large mouthfuls of blood. Her body was covered in cracks, and it looked like she would shatter if she moved a little. She struggled to stand up, but her body was shattered into many pieces. How could this be? Huofeng felt that her heart was about to collapse. Everything was over. Lin Xian walked forward and slashed again. Huofeng's blood splattered everywhere. She was even more miserable. It seemed that it wouldn't be long before she was killed. No. Stop. Damn it, how dare you? The youth from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion in the distance roared crazily. The others were also shocked. This Lin Wudi killed the powerhouse of the peacock race, and now he was going to kill Huofeng. Huofeng was not only a top genius of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, but also a powerhouse of the phoenix race. If such a person fell, it would cause a huge commotion. Lin Xian didn't care at all. The Taiji diagram crushed forward. Blood splattered everywhere. Huofeng became incomparably weak. She couldn't resist at all. She was getting weaker and weaker, and was about to be destroyed. But at this moment, she screamed. Nirvana. The blood on her body suddenly burned, turning into a monstrous fire that enveloped her. The terrible light of the fire shone for 9 days. At this moment, everyone was shocked. Phoenix Nirvana. This was a divine ability of the Phoenix clan. For example, the 9-headed Heavenly Snake clan had 9 lives. The Peacock clan's bloodline possessed the 5-colored divine light and was invulnerable. The bloodline talent of the Phoenix clan was Nirvana. No matter how injured you were, once the egg was reborn, it was the same as being resurrected. It was equivalent to saving a life. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The Tai Chi diagram directly crushed and collided with those terrifying bloodlines. Did Lin Wudi really want to kill him? These people were all crazy. Even Nirvana was not spared. Inside, Huofeng screamed. She was terrified. This was because she felt that the other party's Taiji diagram could really interrupt her Nirvana. In the end, she screamed, and the bloodline flames grew even larger, swallowing everything. The Taiji diagram was blocked outside. After a long while, the terrifying bloodline flame finally dissipated. A huge rock appeared in front of him. There was a fiery red imprint on it. It was strange and mysterious. Those people were stunned. Was this the Phoenix's Nirvana? There were also some experts who screamed. No, this was the most terrifying Nirvana. It was equivalent to being reborn. This Lin Wudi actually forced Huofeng to such an extent? There were 2 types of Nirvana. One was rapid recovery. For example, Lin Xian had cultivated a divine ability before, rebirth from fire. No matter how injured he was, he could recover instantly. The second type was even more dangerous. It was equivalent to giving up all his cultivation and divine abilities and returning to his original state. For example, Huofeng gave up everything and became a phoenix stone. Even if he was resurrected, he would probably not be a saint anymore. He would be in his original state. Perhaps he would only be in a state similar to an ordinary person. This kind of drop in cultivation was like falling from heaven to hell. No one dared to use it. However, in order to save his life, he was probably going all out. Lin Xian snorted coldly after seeing this. Nirvana rebirth. He had some courage. With a wave of his sleeve, he put away the phoenix stone, broke the seal, and threw it directly into the black earth. He was going to give this thing to Morong Chinching because Morong Chinching also had the phoenix bloodline, and it was the seven-colored phoenix bloodline. It was just that he didn't have the inheritance of the emperor race. The bloodline of this phoenix might be able to inspire Morong Chinching. Did he take it away? It seemed that even if Huafeng was reborn, his whereabouts would probably be very miserable. He wouldn't be able to escape from Lin Wudi at all. Countless people were terrified. The man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion knelt on the ground, trembling. He knew that Huafeng was finished. He was angry, but he didn't dare to take revenge. It seemed that he could only preserve his life and leave this place alive before reporting to the experts of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Next, it was Jin Peng. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Under his divine ability, he discovered that Jin Peng had already left the Blood 8 trigrams and was about to leave the Yin Yang Hall. What a coward. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. Previously, when Jin Peng was strong, he was still arrogant and wanted to kill him more than once. Now that he couldn't beat him, he was running away so quickly. Spineless. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He didn't attack immediately. Jin Peng was in his control anyway, and he didn't want to leave so soon. He wanted to see if there were any other opportunities in the 8 trigrams. He flew away towards the center of the Blood 8 trigrams again. He felt the pure yin-yang aura there. At the same time, his eyes flickered. The yin-yang 8 trigrams did indeed have a mysterious connection. He didn't know if he could resonate with it and obtain something special. Lin Xian used all his strength to activate Tai Chi the Death and Sun Laws condensed and formed a Tai Chi diagram that floated and rotated above his head. It seemed to want to communicate with the Blood 8 trigrams. Lin Xian only wanted to give it a try, but he realized that he had succeeded. The 8 trigrams spun violently, and the 8 runes on it bloomed with incomparable light. At this moment, everyone in the 8 trigrams was shocked. Damn it, what's going on? What happened? The Blood 8 trigrams were changing. Was he going to disappear? Or was an even greater opportunity about to appear? Not good. Look, what is Lin Wudi doing? Finally, someone screamed. At this moment, everyone was stunned. Could it be that Lin Wudi had fallen again? Many people looked around, their gazes sweeping across tens of thousands of miles. They saw that in the depths of the Blood 8 trigrams, Lin Xian was using a yin-yang Tai Chi diagram. They didn't know what he was doing. What was this guy trying to do? These people were terrified. Lin Xian was also surprised that it was effective. He was just trying and didn't think too much about it. Chapter 39-38. Buzz. The 8 trigrams shook violently. 8 mysterious runes flew out from the 8 spaces and quickly gathered at the center of the 8 trigrams. Then, they formed a small 8 trigrams. This 8 trigrams was as red as blood. It had a mysterious aura as it descended. What? A small 8 trigrams? Could it be a kind of creation inheritance? The surrounding people's eyes were red. Damn it. Hurry up. We can't let him get it. We have to get this treasure. These people screamed crazily. They had seen Lin Xian's yin-yang origin power. Sweeping through all 4 directions, no one could match him. They were extremely envious of this origin power, but they couldn't get it at all. Now, a small 8 trigrams had appeared. Perhaps it was also a origin power. If they could get it, they wouldn't be weaker than Lin Wudi. They might be even stronger. How could they not be tempted? At this moment, the eyes of the powerhouses in the 8 spaces of the 8 trigrams turned red. They quickly gathered their teammates. Such a heaven-defying treasure had to be snatched across everything. As expected, the powerhouses in the other halls were shocked when they heard the news. Was there such a origin power? Let's go. Some of them rushed out from the heavenly palace, while others rushed out from the earth palace. In short, they all rushed to the Yin-Yang Hall. The Golden Rock also came back with the powerhouses of the Demon City. On the other side, the young man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion used a secret technique to contact the Sword Sage of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. They were determined to get their revenge. Whether it was Lin Wudi or anyone else who dared to go against the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, everything would be turned to ashes. In an instant, many powerhouses appeared in the Yin-Yang Hall. Moreover, they quickly rushed to the 8 trigrams in the sky. In the center of the 8 trigrams, Lin Xian was stunned. What was going on? Was there really a creation inheritance? He reached out to grab the small 8 trigrams. At this moment, the people around him roared, "Stop! Damn you, Lin Wudi! How dare you? Put down the treasure!" These people roared crazily. Although they knew that they couldn't beat Lin Wudi, they wouldn't just watch the treasure be taken away. These people began to release all kinds of mystiques and laws from afar. Boundless power surged over, blasting apart a part of the world. This time, there were many people who left. Although their individual strength was not enough, at this moment, when they attacked together, the power was truly incomparably shocking. The stars moved. Lin Xian waved his sleeve, and a strange force pushed the berserk mystiques in another direction. The space in front of him continued to shatter, forming an endless abyss. Damn it! Those people did not give up and charged over again. Lin Xian used the Taiji diagram. It spun continuously in his hand, pushing all the power to the surroundings. Lin Xian, on the other hand, grabbed hold of a small piece of gossip. Then, he put it away. Right now, he didn't have the time to figure out what this careful gossip was for. I have to get out of here first. Lin Xian turned his head and looked around. There were countless figures rushing over in a frenzy. These people's eyes were all red, and in the distance, there was an even more surging aura. He had to leave quickly. These people were going crazy. Sure enough, these people roared crazily and rushed over. Lin Xian shouted coldly, and the Taiji diagram exploded. His hands opened and closed, and terrifying death laws and sun laws kept surging. All the saints who were close to him exploded. How powerful was his strength? In an instant, more than a dozen saints' bodies were shattered, and saint blood splattered everywhere. The surrounding people were frightened by this scene. Lin Xian took this opportunity to quickly leave. At the same time, the 8 trigrams shook violently, forming a mysterious force that pushed everyone out. Not good. The 8 trigrams is about to close. Damn it, I haven't snatched my fortune yet. Those people inside were crazy. There were so many treasures in the 8 trigrams that they were jealous of. But at this moment, they had no chance to get it. Damn it, it was Lin Wudi. It must be Lin Wudi who fell. These people roared crazily, and more people chased after Lin Xian. In the end, everyone was pushed out. The 8 trigrams in the sky slowly disappeared from the Yin Yang Hall, and those people roared at the sky. Kill. Yes, kill him. He had obtained the most powerful origin energy. Quick, he still had the 8 trigrams in his hand. Perhaps it was also a treasure trove. These people's eyes were red with killing, and they rushed out like the wind. At this moment, those powerhouses were all facing Lin Xian. Lin Xian suffered a huge attack. Although these people were not as strong as the man from the Golden Peacock race, that was only in terms of individual strength. With so many powerhouses, even Golden Rock and the others could not resist at all. Even his scalp was a little numb. He had to fight his way out. He roared and pulled out the spear of great destruction, and also took out the unparalleled sword. In his body, the great dragon sword soul roared. Lin Xian looked in a direction and charged out. Leave him alone. Those people roared crazily and tried to stop him. Quickly form a formation and attack him from afar. He has a divine body, so don't get too close. These people also knew that Lin Xian was strong, so no one dared to fight him in close combat. They only used various laws to resist. A terrifying aura filled the sky. In an instant, the sky was sealed in ice. In the next moment, countless flames intertwined, and there were even monstrous thunderbolts descending. All kinds of strange phenomena appeared one after another. It was as if the world had been destroyed. Lin Xian couldn't help but block. However, he was still injured. There was no other way. There were too many people attacking him. They were densely packed and could not be counted at a glance. Lin Xian had a divine body and many kinds of creation divine abilities. Otherwise, if it were any other powerhouse, he would have been killed long ago. Buzz. Lin Xian's eyes were red. He knew that he could not hold back. The Taiji diagram floated around him. He summoned the great dragon sword soul, and a dragon-shaped sword shadow surrounded his body. He turned into a stream of light and rushed over. Stop him. In the distance, more than a dozen people formed a formation to intercept him. However, it was split in half in an instant. All kinds of whistling sounds filled the air. Lin Xian was too strong. No one could stop him. You want to leave? No way. In the sky, a golden saber slashed down. With a clang, it collided with the Taiji diagram, making a deafening sound. The Taiji diagram floated, and the yin and yang qi rotated to block the saber. The long saber was repelled, but an even more terrifying saber light rushed down. Obviously, this was a powerhouse. It's you. Lin Xian shouted angrily. He realized that the golden rock had returned. Not only that, the golden rock also brought several great monsters with him. Demonic aura spread out from his body. It was extremely terrifying. Chapter 39:39. That's right, kid. Aren't you very powerful? How dare you try to kill me? Die today. A terrifying saber light burst out as the three monsters attacked. Their aura was too violent, as if an ancient beast had been resurrected. Lin Xian was injured in an instant. He spat out a mouthful of blood. His eyes were red, and a blue sea was rising. The terrifying sound waves affected the few great demons. Protect your soul. They screamed. Lin Xian roared, and the yin-yang image flew out, directly cutting a monster in half. That person was miserable. His soul did not even have time to escape before it was killed by the death aura of the yin-yang image. On the other side, Lin Xian kicked out, piercing through heaven and earth. That was the power of the great dragon sword soul, and it directly shattered another person. That person's soul fled in a hurry, but it was pierced by countless dragon-shaped sword chi. In the blink of an eye, two monsters were dead. How could he be so powerful? The golden rock was stunned. That shouldn't be. The other party has become stronger again. He did not know that Lin Xian did not use all his trump cards when he fought against the three of them. Otherwise, the three of them would have died long ago. At this moment, being attacked by countless sages, Lin Xian finally could not hold it in anymore. He was going to start a massacre. Buzz. The unparalleled sword slashed out with a monstrous aura. The golden rock could not hold the saber in his hand anymore. His hand and half of his body were completely shattered. His face was full of horror. Damn it, this power is too strong. I'm no match for him at all. He originally wanted to escape, but he realized that it was not only them, but also countless people around him wanted to kill Lin Xian. This made him laugh. Kid, you're definitely going to die this time. He first used his speed to pull away and recover, then waited for an opportunity to attack. Some people rushed up from the surroundings, but they were no match for Lin Xian at all. In an instant, more than 20 sages died, and their blood dyed the sky red. Lin Xian even used Taiji to mobilize the surrounding power of yin and yang. The Taiji diagram continued to expand, as if it had turned into a part of the sky, and a terrifying yin and yang aura hung down. That was the yin-yang sword chi, which had transformed into a yin-yang dragon that roared nonstop. Those who hurried over were all killed. Lin Xian relied on such powerful mystiques and methods to continuously advance. The surrounding people didn't dare to approach. They surrounded Lin Xian from afar. Not many people would let Lin Xian go. They were just waiting for an opportunity. Sure enough, they had been waiting for this opportunity. Between heaven and earth, the yin-yang image trembled violently, almost shattering. Lin Xian also spat out a mouthful of blood. A crack had appeared on his body. Damn it! Who was it? Did an expert come? From the looks of it, it was even more powerful than the golden rock. He roared and his god body bloomed radiantly. His wounds healed quickly. At the same time, the Taiji diagram in the sky spun rapidly, emitting a terrifying aura. And at this moment, someone had actually pierced through the Taiji diagram and was about to descend forcefully. Had the yin and yang qi been broken? Chang Tian, you won't be able to stop me even if you want to. Who was it? The surrounding people were terrified, and the golden rock's pupils constricted. Lin Xian frowned. He felt a huge sense of danger, as if he had been targeted by some terrifying expert. In the next moment, he frowned. The others were dazzling. Look, It's the Sword Saints. There from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. 7 figures appeared in front of him. Each of them had monstrous sword chi on them. They were like 7 sword gods standing in front of him, blocking his way. I knew it. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion weren't so easy to kill. Lin Xian seriously injured Huofeng and even took her away. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion would definitely not let him off. They recalled the legend of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's sword saints coming out together and destroying a world. Lin Xian was being hunted down by the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Even if he had 8 lives, it wouldn't be enough. You're Lin Wudi? The 7 sword saints in front of him stood in the void, emitting a supreme aura. One of them asked coldly, "Kneel down and accept your death. Hand over the body of our junior sister Huofeng." Their voices were filled with endless coldness. They didn't say a word. In the sky, the phantom of a giant sword appeared, splitting heaven and earth. Could it be them? The golden rock's eyelids also twitched because the aura of these 7 people was too powerful. In particular, they could connect with each other. It made his hair stand on end. Another expert walked over and asked, "Are you the 7 swords of Tianshan?" "Yes, it's us 7 brothers." In front of him, the 7 figures spoke coldly. "Lin Wudi, you've committed grave sins. Today, we'll suppress you. Kneel down obediently and accept your punishment." The voices of the 7 figures were abnormally cold. The surrounding people went crazy. The 7 swords of Tianshan were the 7 terrifying sword saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, because they cultivated the same sword technique, called the Tianshan sword technique. The Tianshan sword technique was not only powerful, it could also form a sword formation. Therefore, these 7 sword saints would usually train together and even kill enemies together. Over time, they formed a name called the 7 swords of Tianshan. Once the 7 swords were unleashed, it was unparalleled. Even the chief disciple couldn't withstand it. Even the fire phoenix and the golden rock couldn't withstand it. Once the 7 swords were unleashed, it was really terrifying. This time, Lin Wudi was really done for. He had no choice. He was too arrogant and had offended so many powerhouses. He would definitely die today. "You're the one who brought them here, right?" Lin Xian stared at a figure. The young man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion trembled and subconsciously took 2 steps back. However, when he thought of the 7 swords of Tianshan here, he was full of confidence. "That's right, Lin Wudi. How dare you go against the 10,000 Swords Pavilion? You'll definitely die. I spared your life last time, but I didn't expect you to be so reckless. In that case, go to hell." 2 light blades suddenly flew out from Lin Xian's eyes and slashed in front of him. Boom! The young man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion screamed and vomited blood as he flew backward. The surrounding void shattered. The 7 swords of Tianshan were furious. They were here, and the other party dared to attack their fellow disciples. It was simply unforgivable. The sword chi on his body soared into the sky, forming a sword screen that deflected the golden light blade. "Senior brother, save me." The young man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion screamed in fear. "Junior brother, don't be afraid. With us here, who would dare to kill you?" The 7 swords of Tianshan were incomparably powerful. The young man from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also heaved a sigh of relief. However, in the next moment, he hugged his head and screamed in pain. He let out a miserable scream. It turned out that it was an eye technique just now, although the light blades were sent flying. However, the young man was still attacked and his soul was injured. Now, it seemed like it was about to split open. "Senior brother, save me," he screamed in fear. One of them said, "A mere eye technique attack could be destroyed by the sword Dao loss." Indeed, their sword chi's attack power was extremely strong. This was the foundation of their confidence. One of them waved his hand, and terrifying sword Dao laws condensed into a small flying sword that flew into the young man's body. It suppressed the other party's soul. Chapter 3940. Sure enough, the young man's expression eased a lot. "Thank you, senior brother. It's okay. A mere soul attack can't hurt us at all. It can only hurt those with weak wills." The 7 swords of Sky Mountain had sword sun runes flickering between their eyebrows, protecting their souls. So what if the other party's eye technique was powerful? It couldn't hurt their souls at all. The surrounding people were in an uproar. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion was too strong. The 7 swords of Sky Mountain were even more terrifying. This time, Lin Wudy was really going to die. However, they were all stunned. In the next moment, a scream was heard. Many black runes suddenly appeared on the face of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's young man. He turned into a skeleton and fell to the ground, no longer breathing. He was dead. The surrounding people were stunned. The 7 swords of Sky Mountain were also stunned. What was going on? They had already used the Law of Swords to protect their junior brother's soul. The other party couldn't have succeeded. However, their junior brother was dead. Moreover, he died in front of them. In addition to their previous words, it created a completely opposite effect. They were incomparably powerful before. It was impossible to kill in front of them, but in the blink of an eye, the other party killed one of their junior brothers. It was a slap in the face. The 7 swords of Sky Mountain's faces were completely gloomy. The surrounding people were also extremely frightened. Lin Wudy's moves were too strange. Even in the face of the heavy defense of the 7 swords of Sky Mountain, he could still kill from a distance. The law of death. He knew the law of death. He could deprive people of their lives. His strength was so strong that the 10,000 Swords Pavilion's martial artist couldn't block it at all. Quickly defend. Don't let him deprive you of your life. The surrounding people were also constantly casting out their defenses to resist the terrifying law of death. When the 7 swords of Sky Mountain heard this, their faces were also gloomy. It seemed that their junior brother had indeed been deprived of his life. It seemed that the other party had such a strange law. In their carelessness, they had miscalculated. The 7 of them were surrounded by sword light. Whether it was the other party's eye technique or the law of death, they were confident that they could block it. Lin Wudy, you dare to kill someone from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion in front of us. Today, you will definitely die. Yes, and you will suffer a fate worse than death. No one can provoke the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. The 7 swords of Sky Mountain walked forward, like 7 mountains, causing the sky and earth. The surrounding people also retreated frantically. When the 7 swords of Tianshan attacked, Lin Wudy could not escape. They just had to wait for the result of the battle. The Golden Rock also retreated to the side. Beside him was a great demon. The other 2 had died, but at this moment, there was no grief on his face. Instead, there was a hint of malevolence. Let's see how you'll die this time. Lin Xian also felt a great threat. The Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords were much stronger than when the Golden Rock and the other 2 worked together. Thinking about it, he should be a peerless enemy. However, he had seen all kinds of experts along the way. A mere 7-sword saints were not enough to make him cower. A cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. In the next moment, he suddenly attacked. He tore through the void and appeared in front of the Golden Rock. He slashed down with his sword. He had said that he would not let any of the Golden Rock and the other 2 go. Originally, he wanted to wait until the matter here was over before he went to kill the other party. He didn't expect that the other party would take the initiative to come knocking on his door. What? He actually killed the Golden Rock. The surrounding people were also stunned. They didn't expect that when facing the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords, such a terrifying enemy, he still had the mood to kill other people. The Golden Rock was also shocked. He originally wanted to watch the show, but he didn't expect that the other party would attack him. Damn it. In an instant, he was scared out of his wits. One had to know that the 3 of them couldn't defeat the other party, let alone now that he was alone. He quickly retreated and didn't fight back at all, because he knew that the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords would take care of the other party. As expected, the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords were also angry. Was the other party still going to attack in front of them? He was simply looking down on them. Kid, you're courting death. One of them roared angrily. The sword chi on his body erupted and slashed at Lin Xian. Buzz. Lin Xian blocked it with the Tai Chi diagram, but he killed the Golden Rock directly. He swore not to give up. The Golden Rock was about to bleed from anger. Damn it, the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords are here. But the other party doesn't attack. Instead, he leads me on a killing spree. What's the other party trying to do? The Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords were also angry and attacked. 3 of them rushed out, and the sword chi on their bodies formed a row and slashed at Lin Xian. Lin Xian kept dodging, and at the same time, he attacked the Golden Rock again. The Golden Rock's hair stood on end. He was extremely nervous, and at the same time, he tried his best to dodge. But in the end, he was still hit by the Tai Chi diagram. He was split in half. Lin Xian seized the opportunity and threw out the death demonic saber. With a monstrous aura of death, it kept taking away the other party's vitality. No, damn it, you can't do this to me. The Golden Rock screamed crazily. The Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords were here. Could the other party still kill him? The 3 of the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords also had gloomy expressions. After such a long time, they still couldn't hurt the other party. This was simply a great humiliation to them. They were about to fly into a rage and use their ultimate skills. On the other side, the Golden Rock had already been killed. How could the Golden Rock be a match for Lin Xian? Not to mention now that Lin Xian was attacking with all his strength. The other party's soul was directly destroyed, and the 2 halves of the corpse fell down. Lin Xian grabbed it with one hand and put it away. I've said it before, I've eaten a lot of golden crow meat, but this is the first time I've eaten the Golden Rock meat. I hope your meat won't disappoint me. The surrounding people were stunned. Oh my God, this demon is really too terrifying. He's still thinking of doing that even now. Lin Xian was like a god fiend. After killing the Golden Rock, he turned his head to look at the Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords again. He said coldly, "The 7 of you also want to attack me? Have you thought about how you want to die? Finally, it's time to fight." Many people gasped in shock. The Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords' expressions were extremely cold. What an arrogant kid. At this moment, the 7 of them finally attacked together. They wanted to use the most powerful method to kill the other party. The sword chi on their bodies combined and enveloped him like the Big Dipper. Lin Xian's body was hit in an instant, and a trace of blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. He had to admit that the 7 of them were very strong. Each of them was not weaker than the Golden Rock. When they attacked together and formed a sword formation, the power was really terrifying. With a roar, Lin Xian's divine body shone brightly. He tore open the void with the Taiji diagram and rushed out of the other party's sword formation. Then, he opened the sky with both hands, and the laws of yin and yang condensed. 9 suns opened the sky. He slashed out with his sword and blasted on the Big Dipper sword formation, making a sonorous sound. "Useless kid, you're no match for us at all. Today is the day you die." The Heavenly Mountain's 7 swords revealed a sinister smile. Their eyes were ruthless and cold. Chapter 39:41. Lin Fan was injured in the first move. This meant that Lin Fan didn't have the strength to fight against them. They would kill him with lightning speed. They would kill him in 3 moves and raise the prestige of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. This time, they must let everyone in the world know that no one should provoke the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. The Big Dipper rose again, and the 7-sword chi turned into starlight and slashed down. Lin Xian formed a seal with both hands, and the Tai Chi diagram kept spinning in front of him to block the attack. At the same time, he roared again. 9 suns opened the sky. "Useless kid, you can't break it at all." The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain sneered, but in the next moment, their pupils constricted. The reason for that was because they discovered that cracks had appeared on the surface of the Big Dipper sword formation. Moreover, the cracks were still getting bigger. How is that possible? How could the power of the opponent increase so much? They were simply crazy. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Just now, he had activated the unparalleled secret technique and made the attack 5 times stronger. Seeing the sword formation break, the corner of his mouth curled into a sneer. Although the opponent was strong, he could still break the opponent's sword technique. With a roar, he rushed out again. Between his fist and palm, there was a supreme aura. He finally broke the formation, and he charged in. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain were shocked and quickly dodged. At the same time, Their expressions became extremely ugly. The surrounding people were all stunned. How is that possible? The Big Dipper sword formation was broken. How strong is Lin Wudi's ultimate combat strength? Does he really have the combat strength of a small saint? To be honest, once the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain attacked, no one below the small saint realm could resist them. But now, Lin Xian could resist them. Not only that, but he could also counterattack. Only a small saint could do that. How could he do that with his cultivation base? However, the truth was right in front of them, and they couldn't help but believe it. You guys aren't that good either. Do you really think that the 7 of you can defeat everything? You're nothing in front of me. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain's faces were extremely gloomy. Use all of our ultimate techniques to kill him. The 7 of them were completely enraged. Since the Big Dipper sword formation was broken, they would use another sword technique. Tianshan swordsmanship. At this moment, they finally unleashed their ultimate skills. Their eyes were filled with cold killing intent. To be honest, they were also extremely shocked. The other party was able to kill the Fire Phoenix and defeat their sword formation. Not to mention that it was done by a single person. It was simply too unbelievable. If he was allowed to continue growing, he would definitely become a powerful enemy. Therefore, they had to take advantage of the fact that they were still able to defeat the other party and kill him as soon as possible. He would never allow the other party to grow. Boom, boom. Today's earth-shattering battle had completely erupted. In front of him, yin and yang auras surged. Terrifying sword chi filled the air as if it was about to destroy the world. No one dared to approach. Finally, after more than 100 moves, Lin Xian managed to repel one of his opponent's attacks. However, he was injured in the second attack. He was sent flying, and 7 sword wounds appeared on his body. Every sword mark was extremely terrifying. His body was dyed red with blood. He was injured. The spectators in the distance exclaimed. Lin Wudi was finally injured. It was incredible that Lin Wudi was only injured after fighting for so long. He was no match for the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. Oh, it was not shameful to die in the hands of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. After all, no one below the minor saint level could fight against the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. These people were discussing animatedly. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain smirked coldly. Kid, did you see that? No matter how strong you are no match for us. Now, you can go to hell in peace. You actually managed to injure my body. Lin Xian's expression was extremely cold. It seems that you do have some tricks up your sleeves. He also admitted that the 7 of them were very powerful. They were strong enough to defeat everything. It was within his expectations that they could injure him. You have aroused my blood. Well, I'll give it my all. Lin Xian's eyes burst out with a sonorous light. The law on his body spread out and quickly healed his injuries. Why? Do you still want to fight back? I can only say that you are courting death. The 7 of them snorted and attacked again. Terrifying sword chi swept across the sky, forming the Heavenly Mountain sword formation. It was really powerful to the extreme. Basically, there were no flaws. On the other side, Lin Xian also roared. He had indeed aroused his battle intent. It had been a long time since he encountered such a passive battle. Today was a good time to test how strong his combat strength was. With a roar, the great dragon's sword spirit in his body surged crazily. Endless dragon-shaped sword chi appeared on his body. At the same time, the yin-yang diagram rotated in front of him. A terrifying divine ability was launched. His strength had become stronger than before. In an instant, the sword chi in the front row were all sent flying. The sword chi hit his body, producing a sonorous sound. Some of them were blocked by the dragon-shaped sword chi, while some were destroyed by the yin-yang diagram. He was like a fiend god, charging into the midst of the 7 of them. With a slap, 2 of them were sent flying. Not good. The 7 swords were also shocked. Their opponent's combat strength had become stronger, and he could even injure them. Quick, be careful. Pull away. The 7 of them quickly retreated. The sword principles on their bodies kept flashing. 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. Ice slash. The 7 of them displayed a terrifying sword technique. Between heaven and earth, ice filled the air. Icebergs appeared one after another, capable of freezing everything. The sword chi around Lin Xian was instantly frozen. The speed of the yin-yang diagram also slowed down. In the end, it was completely frozen in the world of ice and snow. Very good. Next was to use the ice break. Piercing, killing intent burst out from the eyes of the seven of them. The eldest of the seven swords of Tianshan Mountain waved the sword in his hand. However, before it landed, the ice in front of them let out a miserable groan. Then, countless cracks appeared, and then it broke open with a loud bang. What's going on? The eldest of the seven swords of Tianshan Mountain was stunned. He hadn't used it yet. How did the ice break open? Not good. Big brother, be careful. Beside him, the second of the seven swords of Tianshan Mountain roared. The eldest of the seven swords of Tianshan Mountain's pupils constricted. He saw a black and white fist coming toward him fiercely. Damn it, the other party was coming. He knew that it was the power of yin and yang, so he waved his long sword and formed an ice wall in front of him to block. He blocked the yin and yang fist. The eldest of the seven swords of Tianshan Mountain heaved a sigh of relief. However, at this moment, his hair stood on end. It turned out that all the yin and yang aura in front of him had disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by a ray of light. A ray of piercing cold light. A golden sacred sword was burning fiercely. The terrifying flames burned the 9 heavens. Not good, it was the law of the sun. They were shocked. These people frantically retreated. In the next moment, the ice on their bodies completely melted. The terrifying flames rushed over crazily. Chapter 39:42. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, Lin Xian activated the law of the sun with all his might. He used a single law, but its power was unparalleled. The 9 suns' divine fire on his body flickered, and the sun's sword descended. The ice that filled the sky was torn apart. Tianshan's eldest brother also retreated quickly, but he could not. This sword was too long, and he could only use the Tianshan sword technique to block it. The law of the sword that filled the sky rushed over together with the snowflakes. The two collided. Ice and fire, completely opposite forces, clashed between heaven and earth. However, half of the sky suddenly shattered, and the law of the ice that filled the sky also collapsed with a loud bang. Tianshan's eldest brother retreated, and his body was charred black. Furthermore, there was a sword wound on his body that had nearly split him in two. In the distance, those people were stunned. Wasn't Tianshan's eldest brother Lin Xian's opponent? The other 6 of Tianshan's 7 swords also screamed. They really could not believe that their eldest brother would be defeated. Tianshan's eldest brother trembled all over, and his eyes were filled with deep fear. Now, he finally knew why his opponent could kill Huafeng. It was because his opponent was very strong, ridiculously strong. In a one-on-one fight, he was actually no match for him. He took a deep breath, and the Tianshan sword chi on his body quickly recovered. His body that was on fire also recovered. Brothers, don't worry. This injury can't kill me. Tianshan's eldest brother stood up and said coldly, his opponent is indeed very strong. If I'm not his match in a one-on-one fight, I'm afraid no one is. But so what? Don't forget that we're Tianshan's 7 swords. We've always acted together, and no one can stop us brothers from joining forces. Yes, that's right. Let's join forces. No matter how strong he is, he can't beat the 7 of us. The other sword saints' eyes also burst with piercing killing intent. They once again formed a formation. Lin Xian snorted coldly. What brotherhood? That was just despicable and shameless, using numbers to win against the few. Do you really think that the 7 of you can defeat me if you join forces? Today, I'll let you know what a true sword technique is. The sun sword in Lin Xian's hand became even more dazzling. Kill. The two sides clashed again. Lin Xian was surrounded by the 7 swords of Tianshan. At this moment, every part of his body was under attack. Fortunately, his physique was strong, and he didn't need to deliberately defend himself. Otherwise, he would have been torn to pieces long ago. This was a very bitter battle. Lin Xian was in a very difficult situation and was injured. However, The other party was also injured. Among them, Tianshan Lao 5 and Lao 6 were almost cut in half by Lin Xian, while Tianshan Lao 7 was sent flying with a kick from Lin Xian. All the bones in his body were shattered. As for Tianshan Mountain's third brother, he was set ablaze by his terrifying sword qi and was almost cooked. These people didn't feel good either. Lin Xian's injuries were also very serious. It was a ghastly sight. Fortunately, his physique was strong and his recovery ability was amazing. Therefore, it looked dangerous, but it wasn't a big deal. Wang. At this moment, Tianshan Lao 2 and Tianshan Lao 2 suddenly appeared on Lin Xian's left and right and charged at Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly and stretched out both palms. Countless sword lights danced in the center of his palms. At this moment, the other sword saints cooperated with each other and cast a powerful formation to form a terrifying ice to restrain Lin Xian. Lin Xian's speed slowed down again in an instant. This was a fatal crisis. Sure enough, Tianshan Lao 2 and Tianshan Lao 2 seized the opportunity. The sword laws in their hands erupted with endless light. They didn't hold back at all in this attack. Two long swords pierced through Lin Xian's body. Poof! Golden Saint blood dripped down. It was a shocking sight. The people in the distance exclaimed. No way, Lin Wudi was injured. Moreover, he was seriously injured. It's over. This time, Lin Wudi is really going to be defeated. Is it going to end? Some of the powerhouses in the sacred city were also shocked. The seven swords of Tianshan sneered. It was finally going to end. Golden blood dripped from Lin Xian's body. His eyes were unusually sharp. His hands were like knives as he slashed out. Tianshan Lao 2 and Tianshan Lao 2's heads flew into the air. The people around were all stunned. Oh God, what did they just see? Two of the seven swords of Tianshan Lao 2 were beheaded. Wasn't Lin Wudi going to die for sure? Damn it, it was a trap. Someone screamed. He used himself as bait to lure the two powerhouses out. After being seriously injured, the two powerhouses' vigilance was at its weakest. At this moment, Lin Wudi made a strong move. Heavens, this Lin Wudi's scheming mind was too deep. Big brother. Second brother. The remaining sword saints also screamed crazily. They couldn't believe it. Being pierced through and having their heads chopped off were two different things. The latter was definitely a serious injury. Even if they could recover, it would consume a lot of their energy. Damn it. Although their heads were chopped off, Tianshan Lao 2 and Tianshan Lao 2 were still terrifying. The headless corpses could still attack. The long swords in their hands exploded with unparalleled killing intent. They wanted to continue attacking. A terrifying sword light exploded from Lin Xian's body. The aura of the great dragon sword soul exploded, pushing out the other party's sword law. Not only that, the two headless corpses were sent flying. Their bodies were pierced by many dragon-shaped sword qi. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Xian attacked, releasing a few more sword qi. The two headless corpses were split open, blood splattering everywhere. They were torn apart. Stop. When the surrounding sword saints saw this scene, they all went crazy. They couldn't stand it. They quickly attacked, wanting to help. Some went after the headless corpses, while others went after Lin Wudi. The scene was extremely chaotic. Tianshan Lao 2 and Tianshan Lao 2 recovered quickly. Their faces turned pale, and the killing intent on their bodies was unparalleled. Damn it, he really deserved to die. Kill them. 7 swords descend Tianshan. The 7 of them quickly combined and dropped down from the sky. This power was truly terrifying to the extreme. Lin Xian used his maximum speed and dodged quickly. At the same time, he released Whitey. Whitey shuttled through the void and soon arrived in front of Tianshan Lao 2. With a slap, Tianshan Lao 2 fainted. Boom. 9 suns open sky. Tianshan Lao 2 was split in half again. No. How could this be? The 7 swords of Tianshan were going crazy. They couldn't believe what was happening in front of them. Their boss was split in half again. What was going on? How could the other party be so strong? The surrounding people were also stunned. The situation that was supposed to be fatal was resolved. Instead, he was able to counterattack. This Lin Wudi was too unbelievable. Chapter 39-43. Next, Lin Xian and Whitey worked together. Whitey was very fast and could stun people. Coupled with Lin Xian's super strong sword skills, the two of them were equally matched. Both of them attacked each other. Boom. After the eldest brother of Tianshan sect, the second brother of Tianshan sect was also knocked out by a slap. The second brother's head flew up again. Poof. Lin Xian pushed the Tai Chi diagram with his right hand, sending the fourth brother and the sixth brother flying. Then, he appeared in front of the fifth brother of Tianshan sect. Whitey knocked him out with a slap, and Lin Xian attacked again. The fifth brother's body was cut in half at the waist. Next, Lin Xian was like a god fiend, killing everyone in his way. The seven swords of Tianshan sect were beaten up miserably. The surrounding people were all stunned. They were terrified. The seven swords of Tianshan sect were extremely powerful. When the seven of them worked together, no one below the small saint level could stop them. But now, they were beaten up so miserably. Boom. He kicked out like a divine sword, filled with the aura of the great dragon sword soul. The seventh brother of Tianshan sect was kicked into pieces. Lin Xian's murderous aura was monstrous, and his sword chi was rampant. He was fighting against the seven sword saints. He was extremely powerful and did not hold back at all. Retreat quickly. The eldest brother of the seven swords of Tianshan sect roared crazily. The others also retreated quickly. They retreated far away and began to recover from their injuries. Every one of them was in a miserable state. Even if they recovered, their faces were pale, and their aura had weakened a lot. They were no longer in their best condition. They looked ahead and gritted their teeth. To be honest, they never thought that they would have such a day. Everyone, let's attack together. Don't you want to kill him too? The seventh brother of Tianshan sect said coldly. As soon as he said that, the surrounding people were stunned. What's going on? Are the seven swords of Tianshan sect ganging up on him this time? However, the seven swords of Tianshan sect always fought with numbers. However, this sword technique alone should not be able to do anything to Lin Wuti. They should need the help of others. Everyone gasped. The seven swords of Tianshan sect had been forced to such a state. It was probably their first time seeing it. Let's attack together. The surrounding people all sucked in a deep breath. They knew that this time, they had to take down Lin Wuti and obtain the fortune in his hands. This was the best chance they had. Very well, let's attack together. In an instant, the experts of the holy city stepped forward. The space between heaven and earth was filled with people. Fine, since you're courting death, I'll send you to heaven. Lin Xian roared as the nine suns' divine flame burned fiercely on his body. Rebirth of lust. He used his self-created great divine ability, and the wounds on his body were quickly healed. The power he consumed was also absorbed by him. The surrounding yin and yang qi quickly recovered, and the taiji diagram floated above his head. His strength had recovered to its peak. We can't give him any more chances. Kill him quickly. The surrounding people quickly rushed over. Lei Shunsheng and the people from Demon City took the lead, and the seven swords of Heavenly Mountain charged out once again. All of a sudden, an explosion ensued. It was incomparably terrifying. All sorts of great Daos interweaved between heaven and earth. Lin Xian was incomparably domineering. His attacks were bold and powerful. Little White also appeared and disappeared like a ghost. It kept knocking out the people around it. Even so, there were too many people attacking this time. Although Lin Xian was strong, he was still injured. Cracks appeared on his body. Golden saint blood flowed out, dyeing his body red. However, his eyes were getting brighter and brighter. He was in a killing frenzy. Every move was so simple. There were no fancy moves. This was the simplicity of the great Tao. Although there were no confusing moves, the power was unparalleled. Boom. It was at this moment that the void tore open as a gigantic palm made of lightning appeared and slapped down on Lin Xian. It sent Lin Xian flying. Boom. Lin Xian felt that the bones in his back were about to break. Obviously, this was a late-stage fifth heaven expert, and he should have used a sacred artifact. As expected, the thunderous palm in the sky was extremely terrifying. Its aura was pervasive. Not only that, if one looked closely, One could see that the palm was wearing a pair of gloves. Obviously, the gloves were a sacred artifact. Therefore, the power of this palm was incomparably terrifying. The person who attacked was also shocked. His sudden attack hit the other party with all his strength, but it only sent the other party flying. Not even a crack appeared on the other party's body. Only some bones were broken. It was too inconceivable. This physique terrified him. Die. Another roar was heard. The hidden expert of Thunder God City attacked. The thunderbolt in the sky, together with the pair of gloves, mercilessly descended once again. The power of this attack was even more terrifying than the previous ones. Humph! Lin Xian's body was covered in flames as he punched out. The golden fist turned into the sun and blasted on the thunderous palm. The two collided, and sparks flew everywhere. The solar law on the golden fist burned fiercely. It blasted away the terrifying solar law, causing cracks to appear on the palm. At the same time, Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he locked onto that person. He turned into a sword light, broke through the void, and attacked the other party. That person was terrified. He didn't expect the other party to discover him so quickly. Moreover, the other party's strength made his entire arm numb. He could only retreat quickly. At the same time, the surrounding people attacked again. However, Lin Xian was still not afraid. He stared at the Taiji diagram behind him and forcefully blocked it. He vomited blood, but he still charged forward. With a sword, he split that person apart. His soul was directly destroyed by his spring autumn lock. With a miserable scream, the corpse of the expert of Thunder God City fell down, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. Lin Xian was still able to easily kill the enemy amidst so many pursuers. This made them terrified. Next, Lin Xian was even more powerful. Although he was injured, he relied on his powerful divine body to forcefully block all of the attacks. In addition, the surroundings were filled with yin and yang qi. He could use the Taiji diagram to absorb them without limit. Therefore, his combat strength had always been at its peak and had not decreased. The great dragon sword soul in his body also seemed to have come alive, opening and closing wide. In the end, the endless corpses of the saints fell in pieces. The void was completely shattered, and there was even a rain of blood falling. The death of so many saints was truly an earth-shattering event. In the end, those people were scared to death. Kill him. He was a demon. These people fled frantically, and they didn't dare to make a move anymore. Previously, they gave Lin Xian the title of Great Demon King only because Lin Xian was too strong. But they believed that if they attacked together, any kind of prodigy wouldn't be a match. But now, Lin Xian's combat strength really frightened them. This was simply a god, mercilessly harvesting their lives. No matter how injured the other party was, the other party would be able to survive and not die. However, they couldn't block the other party's attack at all. Chapter 39-44. Whether it was the sword qi, the laws of yin and yang, or all of them at the same time, they would definitely die if they came into contact with it. Many people from the sacred city were scared out of their wits and fled in terror. For a moment, there was a vacuum around Lin Xian, and no one dared to go up again. The seven swords of Heavenly Mountain were not having a good time either. Although they were powerful and the seven swords were unparalleled, they had met their match. Their opponent's sword was stronger than theirs, and it even carried an indomitable aura. They had been hit a few times, but they could not heal completely. The sword qi that flowed from their wounds shocked them. What kind of trump card did their opponent have to be able to use such a sword? For a moment, the atmosphere was extremely silent. Although the people around had surrounded Lin Xian, no one dared to attack rashly. Lin Xian's face was also cold. Although he had killed many experts and made everyone tremble in fear, he was not in a good condition either. After all, there were so many experts fighting here, and he had already been seriously injured. However, he had a divine body, and his physique was strong. In addition, the yin and yang around him could provide him with energy. That was why he could hold on until now. However, if he continued to fight, he could not guarantee that his foundation would not be damaged, and he might die. After all, The experts from the other halls were also rushing over. If a few more people like the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain came, he would really be in danger. Therefore, he had to kill until these people were terrified and no one dared to attack again. He stared at the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. These 7 people were the most powerful among these people, and they were also the most representative. If he could kill the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain, then the others would probably not dare to attack again. Thinking of this, Lin Xian turned his head and stared at the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. Boom! He turned into the shadow of a dragon and rushed forward. When the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain saw this, their eyelids twitched and their faces became extremely ugly. To be honest, if someone dared to provoke them, they would sneer and ignore it. But now, they were scared out of their wits. They did not even want to fight with the other party. The other party was really too strong. They were all injured now, and some of them were even almost cut in half. However, it was simply impossible for them to escape in front of so many people. Therefore, they could only bite the bullet. The eldest of the Heavenly Mountain said coldly. He could not be invincible. After being attacked by so many people until now, he was already seriously injured. He should be relying on secret techniques and pills to hold on. If he held on for a while longer, he would definitely die. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain attacked again. All sword chi, the surrounding people who were watching nervously. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. If the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain, then they really would not dare to attack again. However, they were of Heavenly Mountain. Although Lin Xian was injured in the battle, 2 of the 7 swords of Tianshan had died. The 2 sword saints were completely killed. Their souls were shattered by Lin Xian's dragon sword spirit. He would never be able to revive again. S heavenly of heavenly sword of heavenly swords. Of their theirs were of be, of. They soft theirs of heavenly of hev off, have heavenly time. Damn it. They of them. 4th and 5th of the Heavenly Mountain roared crazily, but the eyes of the eldest of the Heavenly Mountain were red. Let's go. He knew that they were no match for Lin Wuti now. If they continued to fight, they might be wiped out. 2nd of the Heavenly Mountain also said, okay, listen to Big Brother and retreat. Let's hurry to the Palace of All Life and hone our sword laws again. When we break through, it will be the time of Lin Wuti's death. The 5 of them turned into streams of light and instantly tore through the void and left. When they left, they wanted to take the bodies of 6th and 7th with them. However, they were stopped by Lin Xian. 1 of 5th of the Heavenly Mountain's arms was cut off. Lin Wuti, just you wait. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion will not let you off. The voices of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain could be heard. Their figures disappeared into the void. The surrounding people were completely terrified. Defeated. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain were really defeated. 2 of their swords were killed. This was really an earth-shattering event. The surrounding people fled frantically. Lin Xian roared angrily. You want to escape? Go to hell. He activated Tai Chi to the extreme. At the same time, he poured all the power of the Heavenly Dragon Sword Soul into Tai Chi. The surrounding Yin-Yang aura was completely mobilized, turning into Yin-Yang swords one after another. They swept across the world. The entire Yin-Yang hall was covered by Lin Xian's Tai Chi diagram. The Yin-Yang Saint's sword was extremely powerful. How could those sages block it? Those who were hit by the sword chi were directly shattered. Some were lucky and their souls were able to escape. Some were even pierced through by the sword chi. They were directly killed. Between heaven and earth, ghosts wailed and wolves howled. Blood splattered everywhere. Everyone was extremely miserable. Lin Xian looked at this scene coldly from the sky like a god fiend. If he wanted to kill, no one here would dare to provoke him. Finally, the Yin-Yang swords disappeared. 70% of the people that attacked were killed. As for the remaining 30%, they were seriously injured and had to quickly flee. They would never dare to enter the Yin-Yang hall again in their lives. Lin Xian sat cross-legged in the Yin-Yang hall. His body was surrounded by endless Yin-Yang qi. It began to repair. He had been seriously injured in this battle, so he had to recover quickly. There were still many people outside the Yin-Yang hall. Those who wanted to enter the Yin-Yang Hall had to cultivate a heavenly Tao golden lotus. Not everyone could condense a heavenly Tao golden lotus. Although many people entered, there were even more who couldn't. These people were discussing curiously outside. They felt the terrifying aura from the Yin-Yang Hall. They didn't know what had happened. Soon, they saw the group of people rushing out in a sorry state. Every one of them was injured, and some of them even came out with broken bodies. Some said that they had turned into a bloody mist. Some even escaped with their souls. What had happened? These people were terrified. The people from the surrounding halls rushed over. They wanted to rush in too. However, those people said to leave quickly. The people inside were all dead. Lin Wudi had started a massacre. 2 of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain had been killed. Did they still want to die? As soon as those words came out, the surrounding people were completely stunned. What? Lin Wudi killed 2 of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain? Nearly 70% of the sages inside had died. What did Lin Wudi do? Impossible. Even a small saint might not be able to do that. Someone shook his head. A person was killed until only his soul was left. He hugged a saint artifact and said coldly, "We experienced it ourselves. How could it be fake?" Lin Wudi controlled the power of the Yin-Yang origin. He was like a god in the Yin-Yang Hall. Not to mention small saints, even small saints would be killed by him. After saying that, he left without looking back. The others were stunned. Lin Wudi controlled the power of the Yin-Yang origin. Just how terrifying was that? Damn it. He actually obtained such a great opportunity. Some of the experts in the sacred city were instantly envious. Chapter 39:45. We don't dare to go in, but we can wait here, right? Yes, he can't stay in there forever. He'll definitely come out. As long as he's out of the Yin-Yang Palace, he won't be that powerful anymore. They started to wait outside the Yin-Yang Palace. The 4 palaces also received the news. Those who were cultivating inside were also in an uproar. In the Heavenly Palace, a figure opened his eyes in the endless sea of lightning. Lin Wudi, you've obtained the power of Yin and Yang. He couldn't wait any longer and came out of the sea of lightning. This person was Lei Jun. He wanted to continue cultivating, but he wasn't in the mood now. Lin Wudi had become stronger and obtained the power of Yin and Yang. He couldn't eat or sleep well. He had to find Lin Wudi and kill him. He heard that Lin Wudi was severely injured. He rushed out of the Heavenly Palace and came outside. His powerful aura made people tremble. God, that's Lei Jun. He's so powerful. The lightning on his body has become even more terrifying. I heard that Lei Jun also obtained a great opportunity in the Heavenly Palace. It seems that it's true. God, his aura has reached the later stages of the 5th heaven. The people around him screamed in fear. Previously, Lei Jun was already so violent when he was at the middle stages of the 5th heaven. It wasn't a problem for him to fight a sage at the later stages. Now that he's a sage at the later stages of the 5th heaven, how powerful is he? Compared to the past, there had probably been an earth-shattering change. Where's Lin Wudi? Lei Jun asked coldly. The people from the Thunder God City were there too. They rushed out of the crowd. He's still in the Yin-Yang Palace. Senior brother, why don't we go in? Someone suggested. Someone shook his head. No, that kid has obtained the power of Yin and Yang. He's like a god in the Yin-Yang Palace. Senior brother, why don't we wait here? He'll definitely die if he comes out. All right, we'll wait outside. Lei Jun didn't dare to go in rashly. After all, some of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain had died. He would be suppressed if he went in. In the Earth Palace, the North Demon was overjoyed when he heard the news. The 9 Chilant's face turned gloomy when he heard the news. He walked out of the blood pool. The primordial phantom behind him merged with his body, making the light of the laws on his body even more dazzling and terrifying. His cultivation had also broken through to the late stage of the 5th heavenly layer. Lei Jun has already gone to the Yin-Yang Hall. Should we go too? If Lei Jun obtains the Yin-Yang source energy, it will be disadvantageous to us. A few great demons in front of him spoke in deep voices. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. Invincible Lin? He had good fortune. But so what? He had good fortune. So did I. There was a strong sense of confidence in his eyes. We're not in a hurry. Lin Wudi has killed so many saints that he's probably seriously injured himself. We'll be in the Yin Yang Hall for a long time. If we go now, we'll just be wasting time. Then we'll go and keep an eye on them. We'll take action when there's news. The great demon said. The eyes of the 9 Cheelants glinted coldly. He must be severely injured, so we have to act immediately. Where are the void beasts? One of the void beasts in the human palace said. Hurry up and find him. Tell him to open the space and send us directly to that kid. I'll kill him while he's down. They acted quickly. In the human palace, the Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingxing, and the others were also shocked when they heard the news. That kid might be in danger, so they had to hurry over. They stopped cultivating. They all prepared to rush over. Some people in the sacred city gritted their teeth. So many saints and experts had died. Their hearts were bleeding, especially those from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. When they learned that Huafeng and 2 sword saints of the 7 swords of Tianshan Mountain had been killed, they were completely enraged. Damn it, Invincible Lin. Does he want to die? No one has ever dared to provoke them. Should we report this to Senior Brother Wan? Someone asked. One of the figures stepped forward and said coldly. There was no need. Senior Brother Wan's enemies were only those on the pilgrim roll. She didn't need to worry about Invincible Lin. Yes, that's right. We can deal with him. Another figure stood up. The sword chi on his body was unparalleled. It seems that some people have forgotten the prestige of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Gather all the people we can. It seems that it's time for us to act again and kill everything. These people were filled with killing intent. Soon, they began to move. They gathered the other sword saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. They wanted to use the strongest method to kill Invincible Lin. Outside the celestial fate planet, the elders of the sacred city were waiting there. They didn't know what was going on inside. Yes, it had been a few years. Everyone should have gained some fortune by now. Don't worry. Every time someone came out, their strength would increase greatly. Some would even soar to the sky. The elders chatted and discussed with each other. All they had to do was wait silently. But on this day, the situation changed. Some of the elders screamed. How was that possible? It turned out that they weren't just waiting this time. They had also brought some souls with them. These souls retained a wisp of their souls when they entered the celestial fate planet. As long as their soul tablets were intact, it meant that they were still alive. But on this day, the soul tablets in their hands shattered on a large scale. Damn it, what was going on? This meant that a large number of people had died inside. And at the same time, could it be that some unexpected change had occurred inside? Or did someone rise to power? Impossible. Even if someone rose to power, they couldn't have killed so many people. I think there must have been an unexpected change. Perhaps some terrifying creatures in the ancient ruins have been resurrected. The elders' expressions were ugly. They didn't know how many people would die inside this time. They didn't know that this wasn't the work of a beast, but a person. However, they would have to wait until the celestial fate star opened to find out. By then, no one would know how many of the sacred city's experts would be able to come out alive. The atmosphere in the Golden Palace was extremely tense. However, the inside of the Yin Yang Palace was extremely strange. Because the inside of the Yin Yang Palace was empty, and there was no one around. But there was a person who was busy there. He was actually eating the golden rock. 2 huge roasted wings were there, and the figure began to eat. It was Lin Xian. He had killed so many experts before. He was also heavily injured, so he quickly recovered here. Fortunately, he had the longevity art and his divine body, so his injuries healed quickly. But there were still some injuries that needed to be healed. Lin Xian thought of the golden rock. The golden rock was a top expert. Its flesh and blood could heal his injuries faster. It was even more useful than treasures. Chapter 3946. Without another word, Lin Xian began to roast the golden rock. The energy inside was converted by his longevity art and began to repair his body. In the end, the 2 huge roasted wings were finished, and Lin Xian burped. The multicolored light on his body flew out again. He activated the Taiji art and absorbed the Yin and Yang Qi again. He sat down cross-legged and began to repair himself. Not long after, he actually finished the huge roasted golden rock. It was really unbelievable. One had to know that he was not inferior to the Golden Crow Prince. Back then, when they ate the Golden Crow Prince's roasted meat, many of them ate together, but they only ate half of it. But now, Lin Xian had single-handedly taken care of one. Of course, there were two possibilities. Firstly, Lin Xian's strength had increased and he could carry more energy. Secondly, his injuries required too much energy to heal. That was why he ate one alone. After eating, 70% of his injuries had healed, and some of them were fine. Lin Xian did not go out. He wanted to adjust his body to its peak state before going out. Moreover, he knew that there must be a storm outside. Who knew how many people were fighting to kill him? He might as well wait here. Perhaps he could counterattack. In the following days, Lin Xian began to recover and cultivate again. However, on this day, the void behind him suddenly shattered, and a few palms reached out and hit him. Some of the palms were shining with terrifying light, and some were holding sacred artifacts. Lin Xian was sent flying by the attack. His body was shattered once again, and golden blood flowed out of his wounds. What was going on? Lin Xian was in great pain. He was extremely shocked. Did someone sneak in to kill him? Who was it? Why didn't he know at all? His soul instantly probed out, but he was stunned because he realized that there was nothing there. It was chaos. How was that possible? Lin Xian was shocked. But all of a sudden, the void behind him was torn open again, and a few more palms carrying sage artifacts struck out. This time, Lin Xian had a defense, so he activated Taiji to resist. At the same time, he retreated. Boom! The Tai Chi diagram was sent flying, and Lin Xian's chi and blood roiled again. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. Damn it! Lin Xian's face darkened. Space divine ability. It wasn't that there wasn't anyone around. Rather, they were using a supreme spatial law to deal with him. He had encountered such a situation once before. Demon City. Lin Xian instantly recalled that a space magic beast had attacked him in the Demon City before. Back then, Black Mountain had said that it should be the Void Beast. Now, it seemed like it was the same Void Beast. However, its power was much stronger than before. After sending the Taiji diagram flying, the spatial rift disappeared again. The surroundings were quiet. No one knew where the next attack would come from. Lin Xian was standing there. There was a huge crack on his back. His bones were shattered and his flesh was badly mangled. At this moment, he was using the second stage of yin-yang to repair it. It was too mysterious. Fortunately, the other party was still a little late. If it was right after he finished a great battle, he might really be in danger. Now, he had eaten a golden rock. His injuries had already recovered by 80%. So even if he wasn't at his peak, he still had the strength to fight. However, the other party's spatial magic was too strange. Lin Xian placed the Tai Chi diagram. Floating, it struck down the yin and yang chi. It enveloped his body. At the same time, the Fecta divine art released a light that swept in all directions. However, at this moment, under his feet, a spatial rift appeared. Terrifying rays of light and laws surged out from the crack and rushed towards him. In an instant, Lin Xian moved horizontally. However, he was still enveloped by the energy. He blocked it. Lin Xian's body bloomed. At the same time, the Tai Chi diagram rotated. The Taiji diagram directed all of this power to another space. Lin Xian dodged. However, his expression became even colder. Damn it! In the next moment, he began to use the void escape and disappeared. However, his void escape was only an ordinary spatial magic. It was useful against other saints, but in front of an expert who was proficient in spatial laws, his void escape was still not enough. As expected, the other party found him again. He was beaten out of the void. Damn it, these people were too sinister. There were clearly several experts, but they actually used such a despicable method. Lin Xian's expression was cold. He had to break the other party's spatial magic. Otherwise, he was really too passive. Thinking of this, his nerves tensed up. Suddenly, He activated the Tai Chi diagram and released a terrifying yin and yang sword chi. The entire space was completely enveloped by him, sweeping through everything. The endless void shattered and turned into a black hole, but no one came out. It seemed that the other party's spatial magic was very strong. Originally, he wanted to shatter a space and let the other party out, but it seemed that the other party had dodged it. This method didn't work. It seemed that he had to think of another way. Lin Xian stood in the void, protected by the Tai Chi diagram. He wanted to fight, to defend and counterattack. He had already thought of a way. Just like that, after a period of time, a crack suddenly appeared on the top of his head. The terrifying energy poured down again, enveloping Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't dodge this time. Instead, he took out the Great Sage Pagoda in an instant. There was a clang. He used the Great Sage Pagoda to defend. Although those people's attacks were strong, the Great Sage Pagoda was an unparalleled Great Sage artifact. The power hit the Great Sage Pagoda, producing an earth-shaking sound. This power was blocked. Not only that, Lin Xian even used stellar transposition to repel this power. Lin Xian also seized this opportunity to send a few dragon-shaped sword chi into it. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. Although the spatial crack was strange, it was still a little slow this time. Especially the appearance of the Great Sage Pagoda, which caught them off guard. That power caused their blood to churn. The spatial crack was a step too late. A few sword chi rushed in, and immediately, there were screams and blood dripping from the sky. However, in the next instant, the spatial crack disappeared, and the world fell silent again. Lin Xian's lips curled into a cold smile. Since they were injured, it would be easy to deal with. He activated his heavenly secret god eyes and began to look around. However, he didn't find any traces of blood. It seemed that the other party's spatial divine ability was indeed very exquisite. Moreover, the person who attacked must be an expert. He must have wiped away the blood in an instant. It made it impossible for him to search. But so what? Lin Xian wasn't looking for those people's injuries, but the Dragon Soul's aura. He had used the Dragon Sword Soul to attack, so the other party might not be able to destroy it in a short time. Sure enough, he could sense the aura of the Great Dragon Sword Soul far behind him. Moreover, it was so far away that he was stunned. Chapter 39:47. Aren't they being too cautious? No wonder he couldn't hurt them when he shattered the entire space. The distance was too far. Lin Xian's face darkened. He didn't know who was scheming against him, but he had to fight back now. Although the distance was far, it wasn't a problem for him. Moreover, he used the Tai Chi diagram to change instantly. The yin-yang aura in the distance and the terrifying yin-yang sword pierced through the space. Lin Xian rushed over as well. Nine-headed Kylan, the void beast, and the others hid in the void. Their eyes were cold. They were the ones who attacked previously. Nine-headed Kylan summoned the void beast back and led the three demons on their way. The void beast's space mystique and bloodline were terrifying. Especially this time, he had activated his bloodline and obtained a transformation. His space mystique was even more terrifying than before. Hence, he tore open the void with nine-headed Kylan and the others. They were transported from the Earth Palace to the Yin-Yang Palace. And then it happened. What happened next? The few of them used their space mystique to injure Lin Wuti. They hid in the void and sneered. Lin Wuti couldn't fight back at all. If they weren't in the Yin-Yang Palace, he would have been dead. Young master, this kid has obtained a transformation of Yin-Yang. He can control the Yin-Yang aura around him. Moreover, the Yin-Yang image gave us a sense of terror. The three demons said. Nine-headed Kylan's face was cold. Indeed, the yin-yang diagram made him fearful. Hence, he said to attack. They kept attacking, but they didn't expect to make a mistake this time. Lin Wuti took out a pagoda to block their attacks. The shockwave made their blood boil. Moreover, Lin Wuti took the opportunity to attack with a few streaks of sword chi, injuring one of the demons. Be careful, Nine-headed Kylan said coldly. This kid has a powerful eye technique. He wants to use blood to track us down. Don't worry, Your Highness. He won't be able to track us down. That demon quickly recovered from his injuries and wiped out all the blood. However, they had underestimated the aura of the dragon sword spirit. Lin Wudi thought that he had recovered, but there was still a trace of the dragon sword spirit's 7 breaths. Hence, Lin Xian found them. Boom, they felt the boundless sword chi slamming into the space around them, causing the space to shatter. Their blood boiled. What's going on? Have I been discovered? That was impossible. He must have done it randomly. The few of them were horrified. The void beast, on the other hand, activated its space mystique and left the area. However, in the next moment, a taiji diagram ruthlessly smashed into their bodies. With a bang, several people fell out of the void with a blank look on their faces. What was going on? He was hit again. That was impossible. The void beast was also in pain. His body tumbled in the air and then disappeared. Nine-headed Qilin and the others who had been knocked out disappeared once again. Lin Xian withdrew the taiji diagram, his face turning cold. Nine-headed Qilin and the people from Thousand Demon City. It was them. Lin Xian knew that once the news spread, these people would definitely make a move. But what he didn't expect was that the other party would directly use a spatial god art to teleport to his side. It seemed that this void beast was really a huge threat. He had to get rid of it as soon as possible. Golden light flashed in his eyes as he searched again. In the next moment, he attacked forcefully. In the space, Nine-headed Qilin and the others were extremely gloomy. Damn it, the other party had discovered their tracks. That was unbelievable. That kid must be dreaming. One of the void beasts gritted his teeth. The other two nodded. That's right. How could he find them? They wouldn't be injured anymore. Just as they finished speaking, they were sent flying, coughing up blood. How was that possible? The 3 void beasts were stunned. They couldn't believe it. They were now on the back of the void beast. With the terrifying power of space, the other party couldn't find them at all. However, the outcome was beyond their expectations. The other party had sent them flying again. Nine-headed Qilin's face turned cold. What was going on? He looked at the void beast. The void beast was in the sky. He said, I don't know. Maybe he sensed the blood from before? That's impossible. The void beast screamed. I've already wiped out the blood. Their bodies disappeared again, but not long after, they were sent flying again. This time, they were more severely injured. Lin Xian swung the Great Sage Pagoda and attacked the other party. Since the other party had used despicable means, he didn't need to hold back. No, the other party was too strange. That eye technique could see through my divine ability. The void beast's face turned cold. To be honest, his bloodline had improved and his spatial divine ability had become stronger. He could kill people like a ghost. Even a small saint might not be able to find his tracks. But now, the other party had easily caught his tracks. Nine-headed Qilin's face turned cold. He said to the injured void beast, Leave us first. Your Highness, you won't abandon me, right? The void beast's face turned ugly. No, run away immediately after you leave. You don't have to participate. The void beast heaved a sigh of relief. It was fine as long as he wasn't used as bait. He didn't dare to go against Lin Wudi's power. He left the void beast and fled frantically. The injured void beast was going to leave. This way, the other party wouldn't be able to find them. The few of them thought. Sure enough, Lin Xian could feel the dragon soul's aura rushing out from the void beast and into the distance. Have I been seen through? His eyes were filled with killing intent. Since that's the case, I won't hold back anymore. Kill. Yin and Yang sword chi fell from the sky and shrouded the void beast. There was a loud boom. The void beast roared crazily. He wanted to resist, but he was instantly pierced by countless Yin and Yang sword chi. Lin Xian didn't kill the void beast. The Yin and Yang sword chi turned into chains and hung the void beast in midair. Lin Xian's figure flashed and appeared in front of the void beast. He said coldly, Nine-headed Qilin, I see you. Not coming out? If you don't come out, this void beast will be tortured to death by me. Having said that, the laws of Yin and Yang revolved. The void beast screamed crazily. Damn it! In the void beast, Nine-headed Cheelin and the others' faces turned ugly. The two void beasts' eyes turned red. Damn it! How dare he attack us? Damn it! Does he want to die? How dare he torture our companion? He deserves to die. Go and kill him. The two of them wanted to attack. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent. They couldn't take it anymore. Nine-headed Cheelin said, "Stop. This kid can control the power of yin and yang here. He's not someone we can fight against. Now, we can only fight against him with our space mystique. We can't go out." Chapter 39:48. What? Nine-heads Cheelin. You don't have the guts to come out? Lin Xian sneered and continued to use Yin Yang 27 to torture the great demon. A pitiful cry could be heard in the air. Nine-heads Cheelin's face was cold. "I'll go out and attract that kid's attention. You guys attack from the shadows." He walked out. He said coldly, "Kid, let go of my people. You actually dare to come out." Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and waved his hand, chopping off the great demon's head. Then, he looked at Nine-heads Cheelin. "He will end up like you." Lin Xian rushed forward. At this moment, the void broke open and a terrifying power surged towards him. Lin Xian sneered. "I've been waiting for you." He took out the great sage pagoda and blocked the power. At the same time, he took out the great dragon sword soul and slashed forward. This sword was really too violent. The space was instantly sliced apart. The great void beast felt danger. It was as if the sword chi could threaten him. What sword technique is this? He was terrified. He used his spatial mystique to the extreme and instantly shuttled through the void. Among the countless laws, space was the king. This was recognized by everyone. Therefore, the great void beast had absolute confidence that he could use his spatial mystique to dodge all attacks. He was invincible. But this time, he was wrong. Because even though he used his spatial mystique to dodge countless attacks, he was still unable to dodge. But he couldn't dodge Lin Xian's slash. No matter which space he shuttled to, the void would be shattered and the sword chi would envelop him. With a swoosh, the sword chi slashed his body. Damn it! The heavenly void beast tossed the two greater demons on his body away. Then, he went crazy. Block it. The power of space distorted, trying to coax the sword chi to sleep. Boom. In the end, his bloodline power exploded and he escaped. But he was still injured. His tail was chopped off. The originally transparent tail was stained with blood and was instantly dyed red. Lin Xian's eyes lit up when he saw this. Good stuff. He let the great dragon sword spirit sweep up the broken tail and instantly rushed back. Damn it! How dare you? Nine-heads Cheelin roared. He didn't expect the great void beast to be injured. This was too unbelievable. He couldn't let Lin Fan get the great void beast's body. If Lin Fan had some method to study the laws of space, it would be bad. So, he attacked. The other two greater demons struck out swiftly as well. Instantly, all sorts of horrifying auras gushed out. Lin Xian roared. The Taiji diagram spun in all directions. The entire yin-yang hall seemed to have been activated by him. Countless yin and yang auras descended. The swords of yin and yang were indomitable, capable of destroying everything in their path. Damn it! The two greater demons were instantly injured. Many sword wounds appeared on their bodies, and they screamed in terror. But he was much stronger. He was Damn it. Just like the rumors said, the yin-yang hall was the enemy's territory. There was simply no way for them to contend against him. Without the spatial demonic beasts, their lives would be in danger. On the other side, the great void beast was going crazy. He had never been injured because no one could hurt him. But now, he had lost a part of his tail. It was a great humiliation. He was a rare beast. He knew the laws of space, but there were limitations. His body and bloodline couldn't recover as easily as other sages. After all, the blood of space was precious. His skin could be made into a spatial weapon. It was very precious. So, once he was injured, the injury would stop immediately. However, it would take a long time for his broken tail to grow back. He couldn't stand it. He had to get his tail back. He only held back his blood and completely hid in the void. This time, he was going to use the power of space to kill Lin Fan. The space around Lin Xian twisted strangely. The power of space made his body shake violently. The yin and yang qi became crazy and restless. How dare you come again? Lin Xian snorted. Suddenly, an extremely miserable shriek came from the space. The space demonic beast's body fell down, and it was trembling nonstop. His originally transparent body appeared before everyone's eyes at this moment. Not good. Nine-headed Kylan's face changed, and he rushed over. The two great void beasts also looked terrible. What a terrifying black aura. It was the power of death. Lin Fan should have the laws of death. What? When the nine-headed Qilin heard this, its face turned extremely ugly. He couldn't care less. He had to save the great void beast. It was the law of space. It was rare. He couldn't let it die. Let's go. They took the great void beast and left quickly. Lin Xian used the yin-yang sword and chased after them. In the end, they were all injured. Even nine-headed Kylan had a terrifying sword wound on his back. He was almost cut in half. However, he didn't dare to fight back. He could only run for his life. Outside the yin-yang hall, everyone was waiting patiently. They were waiting for Lin Xian to come out so that they could stop him. Over the past day, they felt energy fluctuations in front of the yin-yang hall. Someone was coming. These people all stood up, their eyes shining with a shocking light. Some used secret techniques. Some took out sage weapons. They were ready to attack with all their might. They wouldn't give the other party a chance to react. Moreover, they didn't doubt that the person who came out was Lin Xian. After all, Lin Xian was the only one who was still in the yin-yang hall. When Lin Fan came out, they roared and attacked. The sages attacked crazily. Lei Zhan and the other chief disciples were among them. When they attacked together, they were extremely powerful. The people who came out immediately screamed in pain. Not good. The two great void beasts turned green. They couldn't defend against so many sages. Damn it. I'm not Lin Wudi. Nine-headed Kylan understood what was going on. These people probably thought that they were Lin Wudi. As soon as he shouted, his voice was drowned out by the energy in the sky. Those who attacked sneered. He wasn't Lin Wudi. Who was he trying to fool? Who else could it be other than Lin Wudi in the yin-yang hall? Everyone ignored him and attacked crazily. The other party was trying to bluff his way out. These people attacked even more violently. The area in front of them was completely drowned out. After a series of attacks, everyone stopped. The other party should be dead. That was for sure. Lei Zhan stood out. His eyes were filled with radiance. If he's not dead, I'll kick his head like a ball. The elites of the demon city also stood up and sneered. They had so many elites attacking, but the other party was still alive. What a joke. Chapter 39-49. At this moment, more than 10 figures appeared in the distance. Each of them was a sword sage. Their auras were powerful. The people of 10,000 Swords Pavilion were terrified. When the people of 10,000 Swords Pavilion saw this, they naturally understood that the kid had appeared. Kill. Without saying a word, countless sword chi slashed down. The scene in front of them was shattered again. After a long time, it slowly disappeared. Humph, let's see how you die. They sneered. At this moment, everyone was paying attention. In front of them, the sword chi disappeared. The laws slowly dissipated. Fresh blood stained the ground. The pungent smell of blood made people frown. However, when they saw the situation clearly, they were all dumbfounded. Why was there so much sage blood? The residue didn't seem right. They frowned. Lin Xian didn't have any scales on him. And why did they feel that the demon aura was monstrous? Could it be that it wasn't Lin Wudi? Thinking of this possibility, they quickly widened their eyes and looked forward. In the next moment, they screamed. How could this be? The experts of Demon City fainted. They realized that there were a few powerful demons in front of them, and one of them seemed to be their young master. 9 Qilins. It couldn't be. The people they had just attacked were actually their own people. These people fainted. One had to know that they didn't hold back when they attacked. They wanted to kill Lin Wuti. Who would have thought that they would kill their own people? The others were also stunned. What was going on? Didn't they say that only Lin Wuti was left in Yin Yang Hall? How did Nine Qilins and the other demons enter? Everyone was shocked. They couldn't understand it all. Lei Zhin's face darkened. He was a little disappointed. After all, it wasn't Lin Wuti. However, it was a good thing that Nine Qilins were killed. After all, both sides were competitors. The sword sages in the sky were cold. That kid was still inside. At this moment, the crowd erupted into an unparalleled scream. The nine-headed Qilin was killed by them, as well as the other great demons. This was a shocking matter. Could the thousand-demon city let this matter rest? So what? Who asked him not to reveal his identity? That's right. Demon City also took action. What right did they have to blame us? Some people were discussing. Some people sneered. The great demons of the myriad demon city also woke up, and they rushed forward as if they had gone mad. Young master, please don't die. Up ahead, the two greater demons who had come out with the nine-headed Qilin were already smashed into smithereens. Their Qilin souls had been destroyed, and they were deader than dead. There was no way they could be revived. Hence, they didn't even look at the nine-headed Qilin. The nine-headed Qilin's body was shattered, and blood flowed out of it. There was no sign of life. The nine-headed Qilin was strong, and he had made a breakthrough recently. He was strong enough to defeat everyone, but there were too many experts in the Yin Yang Hall. Moreover, there were more than 10 powerful sword saints among them, including Lei Zhan. There were other chief disciples as well. These people originally wanted to make a move and kill Lin Xian. Therefore, no matter how strong the 9 Qilins were, they couldn't stop him. He was directly killed. Young master. The experts of the demon city went crazy. Their young master had really been killed. Although the nine-headed Qilin had 9 lives and wouldn't really die, it was still a huge price to pay for one of his lives. Why didn't their young master dodge? They couldn't understand. With their young master's strength, even if he couldn't win, it wouldn't be a problem for him to escape. Soon, they saw the nine-headed Qilin carrying a beast in his arms. When they saw the beast covered in black runes, they understood. It was the Void Beast. The nine-headed Qilin was protecting the Void Beast, and that was why he was killed. At the same time, they understood why the nine-headed Qilin would appear in the Yin Yang Hall. He must have cooperated with the Void Beast to assassinate Lin Xian. However, it seemed like he had failed. The Void Beast was in a bad situation. His life force was weak, and he could die at any time. They quickly treated him. The experts of the Demon City quickly treated him. At the same time, they waited. Not long after, an immemorial phantom appeared on the nine-headed Qilin's body. He originally had 9 heads, but Lin Xian had killed one of them. He already had 8 heads. Now, he died again, and the 8th head was smashed. Now, only 7 heads were left. The aura of the nine-headed Qilin recovered, and he came back to life. However, the moment he came back to life, he roared at the sky. Damn it! He was mad with anger. He actually died again. He could not accept this. He had 9 lives, but the fight for the Great Tao was extremely dangerous. Even if he had 9 lives, he might not be able to reach the end. Not to mention that he had lost another life for no reason. He had died for no reason. He glanced at the Void Beast, who was being treated by their experts. He turned around and stared at the front. How dare you attack me? You even dared to cause me to lose my life. Just you wait. I will definitely not forgive you for this matter. The Demon City will not let you off. The nine-headed Qilin roared. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. The assassination had failed, and the Void Beast had been severely injured. Now, he had lost another life. He was furious. The people around him felt their scalps go numb. It was over. The nine-headed Qilin would definitely go on a killing spree. Would they be able to withstand the revenge of the Demon City? These people all wanted to escape. However, at this moment, Lei Zhan stepped forward and sneered. Who allowed you to come out? We killed Lin Wuti. Who knew it was you? That's right. Someone sneered. How would we know if you didn't tell us? Moreover, it wasn't just us. The people from the demon city also attacked, and they were even more ruthless than us. Perhaps they were the ones who killed you. What right do you have to take revenge on us?" The nine-headed Chelan's face darkened when he heard this. He turned around and stared at the experts from the demon city. The great demons looked pale and broke out in cold sweat. They said awkwardly, "We really didn't know it was you." "Yes, young master. We didn't know you went in to assassinate Linwoody." The nine-headed Chelan spat out a mouthful of blood. He wanted to die. In order to be quick and keep it a secret, he did not call many people. He only called a few great demons from the Earth Hall. He also called the Void Beast over. He could not wait to assassinate it. He was afraid that a long delay would cause trouble. Who would have thought that his original plan would end up burying him? "Let's go." The nine-headed Chelan roared and flew into the sky. He could only suffer in silence. "Let's go." The great demons from the demon city brought the Void Beast and left quickly. Everyone was discussing why the nine-headed Chelan would appear here. Some were also worried that the demon city would take revenge. In the Yin Hall, Lin Xian crossed his arms. He was laughing so hard that he could not breathe. He had never seen such a ridiculous thing. The nine-headed Chelan had lost a life. Chapter 3950. Serves them right. Lin Xian sneered. Then, he turned around and went back in. He could tell that it was a dangerous place outside. The nine Chelans were so terrifying, but they were all killed instantly. If he went out, the situation wouldn't be any better. Even though he had the great sage, he was still being chased by countless people. It wouldn't feel good. "I have to think of a way to leave quietly." Lin Xian looked at the tail in his hand and sneered. He heard from He Shan that the Void Beast was a spatial divine beast. Its fur had the power of space. If he could refine it, he could use the power of space to leave quietly. What happened outside the Yin Hall spread quickly. As for the Golden Palace, everyone in the 5 halls knew about it. They were in an uproar. The North Demon and the Crimson Dragon heard it too. They sneered. They were courting death. They deserved it. Who told them to sneak attack? Soon, they frowned again. These people had gathered outside the Yin Hall to capture Lin Xian. The 9 Chelans were tricked this time. But what about the next time? Would Lin Xian be able to withstand so many terrifying attacks if he came out? Especially the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Another 10 Sword Sages came. The 20 Sword Saints together were incomparably powerful. Everyone was terrified. "No, we have to find that kid quickly. Let's go to the Yin Hall too." The Crimson Dragon, the North Demon, Murong Qingqing, and Li Hongxiu all moved. Wang Xiaofeng, Guili, and the others who were still outside the Yin Hall also came. They gathered and rushed towards the Yin Hall. Of course, they didn't go there directly. Otherwise, they would be in trouble if they were captured and used to threaten them. They hid in the dark and were extremely anxious. They didn't know how senior brother Lin was doing. They were worried about Water Sky City. It wasn't easy for these people to gather the heavenly Tao Golden Lotus and enter as well. However, their strength had increased by leaps and bounds. After all, they were all top geniuses. Although they had entered the Saint City late, they were still able to obtain the treasures inside. Therefore, they chased after Lin Xian. "Stay in the dark and wait for us to go take a look," Li Hongxiu suggested. Indeed, it wasn't appropriate for Peerless City's people to show their faces. However, they weren't Peerless City's people, and each of them had a special status. Those people wouldn't dare to act recklessly. The toad also cried out, "Damn, this group of people is too despicable. I will drown them with ointment." They rushed out. The eyes of the people from the Yin Hall lit up when they saw them. They knew that these people were their friends from Lin County. Should they make a move? Upon closer inspection, they realized that although these people were Lin Xian's friends, they all had their own identities. Furthermore, they weren't from Peerless City. For example, Li Hongxiu, the daughter of the Saint King. Would you dare to attack her? These people hesitated. Lei Jin sneered. It didn't matter. Since they were here, it meant that the guy was really inside. As long as he came out, he would definitely die. These people waited even more patiently, following which, the toad began to provoke them. Its mouth was truly too smelly, causing the faces of some experts to darken. Later, he began to hunt down the toad. However, the toad was very powerful and was very familiar with this place. Even though it was being chased by dozens of people, it was still able to leave calmly. After a few days, the toad came back energetically. The saints were so angry that they gritted their teeth. The Crimson Dragon began to set up many arrays. After all, arrays were more useful in a real battle. He decided to set up some teleportation arrays to teleport the kid away. Murong Qingqing, Li Hongxiu, the North Demon, and the others were also worried. They were all waiting. However, at this moment, Lin Xian seemed to be very relaxed in the Yin-Yang Hall. He had an almost transparent beast skin in his hand. It kept rolling as he refined it with his godly fire. It was the beast skin of the Void Beast. Lin Xian chopped off a section of the beast's tail and peeled off the beast's skin. He also didn't waste any of the beast's flesh. He preserved it perfectly. These were all good things for him to study the spatial laws. He didn't have time to study them now, but when he had the chance, he would definitely take them out to study. Lin Xian refined the demonic qi on the beast's skin. Then, he kept polishing it and imprinting his soul mark on it. Before this, he had used the Great Dragon Sword Soul to clean it a few hundred times. He had already removed all the remaining souls on it. Now that the beast's skin was no longer connected to the Void Beast, he could use it without worry. Once he was done, Lin Xian draped the beast's skin over his body and disappeared in an instant. How magical! Lin Xian took out the Great Destruction Spear and put it on. Then, he sensed it carefully, but he couldn't sense it. The demonic qi on it had completely disappeared. It was indeed a good thing. The Void Beast was too amazing. It was really a divine beast. Indeed, it was really too good. It was like the darling of the heavens. For example, the 9 Cheelants and the Void Beast's bloodline were all extraordinary. Not to mention the dragons, phoenixes, and Cheelants. He should be able to leave now. Lin Xian put on the beast's skin and walked out of the Yin-Yang Hall. When he reached the door, he hesitated for a moment. Then, he walked out. He lingered outside. Seeing that something was wrong, he hurried back. However, he realized that after he came out, the people in front of him didn't react at all. They didn't notice him at all. That's great. Lin Xian was delighted. It seemed that the power of space had completely hidden him. Lin Xian deliberately took a few steps forward and wandered in front of these people. In the end, no one reacted. Only Lei Zhan revealed a look of doubt. Endless lightning flashed in his eyes as he tried to search. However, he didn't find anything and retracted his gaze. Lin Xian secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Even Lei Zhan couldn't find him, let alone the others. He had to take a good look at who was targeting her. What he saw gave him a fright. Almost all the big families in the Holy City except Wushuang City had people here. Damn it, it was really something. However, it made sense. The yin-yang origin was not weaker than the spatial laws. If he could get it, how terrifying would it be? He remembered all of them. If he had the chance, he would kill them one by one. Not only did he see these people, but he also saw his friends. The Crimson Dragon, Murong Qingqing, Li Hongxiu, Toad, and the others were also here. This made Lin Xian's heart feel warm. He walked over and sent a voice transmission to Murong Qingqing and Li Hongxiu. Murong Qingqing was stunned. However, after hearing Lin Xian's voice transmission, he quickly calmed down. Brother Xian, is that you? Lin Xian said secretly. It's me. Previously, the 9 Cheelants brought the Void Beast and crossed space to kill me. I killed them instead. I obtained a piece of Void Beast skin and refined it. Now, I'm using the power of space to sneak out. They can't see me. Chapter 3951. Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief. Space mystique? That would be much safer. Li Hongxiu was also surprised. She transmitted her voice to Lin Fan. You're really surprising. Every time you did, you would cause a huge commotion. Lin Xian chuckled and transmitted his voice to the North Demons. He told them to bring the Toad and the Crimson Dragon away. The Crimson Dragon and the Toad were very unhappy when they were taken away. Damn, What's going on? Are we retreating? No, I haven't scolded enough. The toad clamored, but in the end, a slap landed on its head and it was dragged away. Then, they met up with Shui Tianqing and the others and left quietly. They went to a place far away where there was no one. The toad was unhappy. Damn, who hit me? Say, what's going on? Why are you retreating? Shui Tianqing and the others surrounded them. Before the North demons could say anything, a figure appeared in front of them. Of course, it's because I came out. It's you. The Crimson Dragon was shocked. The toad jumped high. Damn, what the hell? Shui Tianqing, Shi Bufan, and the others screamed. They couldn't imagine that Lin Xian would suddenly appear. What's going on? How did you come out? Why didn't I notice you at all? The Dark Divine Dragon was shocked. The others were even more shocked. As Lin Xian spoke, he naturally swaggered out. He waved the transparent beast skin in his hand and covered it up again. Everyone realized that the candidate had disappeared. Space mystique, Toad shriek. You actually mastered such a mystique. Didn't you say that you mastered the yin-yang laws? The Crimson Dragon was also excited. Yeah, kid. What's going on? Lin Xian recounted the events that had transpired. After they heard it, they were shocked. So many things had happened in the yin-yang hall. It was really dangerous. Only Lin Xian could come back alive. If it were Lei Zhan and the others, they might not be able to come out alive. Especially when they heard that Lin Xian was being chased by the Void Beast space, they were all infuriated. Fortunately, the Heavenly Void Beast had been wounded, and one of the 9 scales had died. Meanwhile, Lin Xian had obtained a piece of Heavenly Void Beast skin. With this thing, it was equivalent to having spatial laws. Many people were envious. Lin Xian said that it wasn't that exaggerated. He could only hide his tracks and couldn't use spatial abilities. Indeed, spatial abilities were extremely terrifying. Apart from being able to hide one's tracks and teleport through space, there were also various other uses. Lin Xian had seen these when he was in the Gu family. That was the King realm. If it was the law of space, it would be even more terrifying. Everyone nodded. At this moment, Li Hongxiu also spoke up. Indeed, if it was a Void Palace beast, it was still possible. A piece of beast skin could only save one's life. Let me tell you, there is a person who knows how to use the law of space, and he is extremely terrifying. Everyone was stunned. Apart from the Heavenly Void Beast, there was actually someone who knew how to use the law of space. Wasn't this too unbelievable? Once this was said, everyone was stunned. Even Lin Xian was shocked. There was actually someone who knew how to use the law of space. Then how terrifying was this person? These people were all very interested to hear the details. Li Hongxiu shrugged. I don't know either. I only know that there is an expert on the pilgrim list whose surname is Gu. His name is Gu Feng. Gu Feng. Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. Could it be someone from the Gu family? Spatial abilities were extremely rare, and only a few people could master them. Apart from the Heavenly Void Beast's bloodline ability, the only other great emperor family who could do it was the Gu family. Moreover, this person was also surnamed Gu. Gu Feng. His eyes flickered. He had never heard of this person in the quintessential world. However, great emperor families were extremely mysterious. They might not only exist in the quintessential world. There might be some in other places as well. In short, he guessed that it was very likely that Gu Feng was from the Gu family. If that was the case, then he would be a difficult opponent. The North Demon also said, I wonder how Gu Santong is doing. Yes, they also thought of Gu Santong. He was also a genius of the Gu family. Lin Xian thought of many things in an instant. Li Hongxiu said, forget it. You don't have to think about these things now. If you want to deal with those people, break through to the small saint realm first. Brother Xian, what do you plan to do next? Murong Qingqing asked. I'm going to the Palace of All Life. I think it's time to condense the Law of Sword. Then I'll go with you. Murong Qingqing said. She had already strengthened her bloodline in the Palace of All Life. She wanted to go to the other palaces to take a look. Lin Xian nodded. The toad said, I'll go too. Li Hongxiu slapped it. Go your sister. Don't be a third wheel. Damn it. It hurts. The toad's tears flowed out. Then it said, who said I'm going with this kid? The palace of all life is a good place. Can I go alone? The North Demon also said, we can all go to the palace of all life. However, we can't go together. This way, even if there's danger, we can help as soon as possible. All right, everyone nodded. Let's do it this way. As for Zishui Tiancheng and the others, Lin Xian told them to be careful. Then he and Murong Qingcheng snuggled up to each other, put on the void beast's skin, and disappeared. Over at the Yin Yang Palace, everyone was waiting with gritted teeth. However, they didn't know that Lin Xian had already left the Yin Yang Palace. Now, he was already in the Palace of All Saints. If these people knew, they would probably vomit blood. There were even more laws in the Palace of All Saints. Lin Xian sensed carefully and flew in the direction of the Law of Sword. During this time, he met some people. They were all powerful swordsmen, and some were even sword saints. The Law of Sword was very terrifying. However, everyone's Law of Sword was different. Some were fast and violent, while others had a destructive aura. However, without exception, they were all very powerful. Lin Xian and Murong Qingcheng shuttled through the void quickly. The people around them didn't know that the two of them had arrived. They didn't know who left behind the 5 halls of the Golden Palace. Wasn't it too magical? Lin Xian was also amazed. He wasn't sure, but he thought that it must be someone incredible. Perhaps it was a supreme saint, or someone above a supreme saint. As for this secret, they probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. The two of them didn't argue. Along the way, they snuggled up to each other and whispered sweet nothings. On this day, there was a sudden roar in front of them. Heaven and earth trembled, and a terrifying aura spread from afar. What happened? Lin Xian and Murong Qingcheng stopped. They looked into the distance. Murong Qingcheng's eyes were shining with rainbow light, while Lin Xian's eyes were shining with golden light. Both of them were surprised. Chapter 39:52. In front of them, the light was monstrous, and a terrifying aura was vast and mighty. It was sword chi, and it was incomparable. It soared into the sky as if it was going to pierce through heaven and earth. Retreat quickly. Lin Xian sensed the terrifying sword chi and immediately retreated. He didn't know what it was, but it shouldn't be a human, because it was too terrifying. The two of them moved very quickly in the void and left in an instant. As soon as they left, the place where they were originally standing was shattered by countless sword waves, turning into a black hole of nothingness. After retreating a long distance, the two of them heaved a sigh of relief. Murong Qingcheng's jade-like face was also cold. The Law of the Sword was really terrifying. That's right. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he looked around. In addition to the Law of the Sword, there were probably also the Law of the Saber and some very rare law types in this place. They could all be found here. He didn't know if he could find the Law of Space. Lin Xian was also looking forward to it. If there was a place where he could temper and comprehend the Law of Space, it would be great. Thinking of this, he was right. There was something for you. He took out half of the blood essence of the Void Thin Man and gave it to Murong Qingcheng. You should comprehend it well. You might fight with Gu Feng in the future. Even if you don't fight Gu Feng, you might encounter the Void Beast. After all, the Demon City would definitely not let this matter rest. In addition to these, Lin Xian also gave some of the things he had obtained to Murong Qingcheng. After Murong Qingcheng received them, she also gave the things she had obtained from the human hall to Lin Xian. Most of the things that Murong Qingcheng had obtained were evolved bloodlines. Lin Xian didn't have any bloodlines, but he still accepted them. He felt that they might be of some help to his divine body. Oh, right, there was another good thing. Lin Xian slapped his head. He thought of something and took it out. What was this? After Murong Qingcheng saw it, she was surprised. The aura of a phoenix. That's right, there was a fire phoenix in the 10,000 Swords Pavilion who went against me. When she was about to die, she directly turned into a phoenix stone. I think it should help you. Murong Qingcheng was overjoyed. Perhaps I can find out some of the Emperor clan secrets from her. Wait, someone is coming. The two of them stopped talking and stood in the 9 heavens. A few streams of light streaked over from afar. These people were all sword saints. and Lin Xian recognized a few of them. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain, but not all of them. They were the 3rd and 4th of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. The 2 of them were in an abnormally sorry state. Their bodies were covered with terrifying sword wounds. It was the same for the other sword saints. They were all injured. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It seemed that the terrifying sword chi was caused by these people. There should be something incredible up ahead. These sword saints made a move. He must have activated the mechanism. He didn't know what it was, but if it could move these sword saints, it should be a good treasure. However, Lin Xian did not make a move because the sword chi in front of him was too terrifying. Even he could not withstand it. Moreover, he didn't want to reveal his identity too early. Otherwise, those people from the Yin Yang Hall would kill him again. Hiding in the void, Lin Xian turned and left. Now, the most important thing was to condense the precept of sword. After flying for a few more days, Lin Xian came to a stop. He realized that there was an extremely strong sword will in front of him. It was the precept condensing. He descended to comprehend it. He realized that it was some plants and vines. They had an unusually cold aura. He took a closer look and realized that these plants were growing on the broken sword. The aura on the broken sword was too terrifying. Therefore, these plants also had a terrifying sword chi. Some of them even bore fruit. This should be the sword fruit. Lin Xian did not make a move rashly because this place was not too far away from the place where the sword chi had exploded. Moreover, the remnant sword will here was also very terrifying. If he activated some mechanism and attracted other unnecessary trouble, it would be terrible. He was waiting. When the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain made a move, he could make a move. At that time, everyone would pay attention to the even more terrifying sword chi and would not pay attention to him. After waiting for 2 days, the sword chi in front of him soared into the sky again. The terrifying scene attracted the attention of countless people. It was a good opportunity. At this moment, Lin Xian also made a move, because there was also a sword wave on his side. However, compared to the terrifying scene in the distance, he did not attract too much attention here. After half a day, Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing left. They had obtained 100 fruits. Lin Xian was very satisfied with this. He ate 5 fruits directly and felt a piercingly cold sword chi circulating in his body. As expected, the sword will contained in these fruits was very terrifying. It was far more powerful than what he had seen in the outside world. He ate more than 20 fruits in one go. Then, the sword essence in his body kept rushing out. Lin Xian began to comprehend here. Soon, he finished the 100 sword fruit. He opened his eyes and sighed. It was a pity that he did not condense the sword rule. From this, it could be seen that the sword rule was very difficult to comprehend. However, the effect of these 100 fruits was also very good. At least, Lin Xian's sword chi had become more terrifying than before. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing returned. When the sword chi in front of them filled the sky, they picked nearly 100 more fruits. After a few attacks, Lin Xian's sword chi improved rapidly. However, Lin Xian knew that these could only improve his sword chi. If he wanted to comprehend the real sword rule, he would need other things. Over the next day, Lin Xian ate another 30 invisible fruits and prepared to comprehend. Not long after, there was a sudden roar in the distance. Endless sword chi rolled between heaven and earth. There was a strange phenomenon in the sky, and a red light was emitted. Is there a change? Murong Qingqing's eyes flickered and revealed a look of surprise. She looked at Lin Xian and did not say anything. Instead, she waited patiently. After half a day, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Murong Qingqing told him what had happened. Lin Xian also stood up and looked into the distance. He also felt that there was a terrifying sword rule in front of him. Obviously, there was a change in front of him. Let's go and take a look. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing flew forward. This time, they were not the only ones. There were many powerful saints flying quickly around them. It seemed that the strange phenomenon in front of them had attracted the attention of many people. Even before it arrived, Lin Xian and the others could already sense a fearsome surge of sword chi sweeping in their direction. The void beast skin on their bodies fluctuated with the power of space, causing them to hide their bodies. Some of the saints around them also stopped in their tracks and shouted coldly as they began to block the sword chi. There were sword saints and other saints among them. Obviously, these people all wanted to obtain the sword principle world in front of them. If they could condense the sword rule, then their attack power would be greatly increased. Lin Xian activated the heavenly secret prodigy and looked ahead carefully. Chapter 39:53. In front of them, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The void shattered. A huge stone tablet was faintly discernible, and it looked like a huge sword that reached the sky. The sword chi emitted from it was really terrifying. This should be the legendary place of the hidden sword. A sword saint looked up to the sky and laughed. He was really lucky. He actually saw the place of the hidden sword reappear in the world. The surrounding experts' eyes were also burning with passion as they stared at the scene before them. There was an extremely shocking law in front of them, as if it could easily split a person in half. Finally, someone couldn't hold it in anymore. A sword saint turned into a stream of light and rushed forward. However, when he got close, he screamed and retreated in horror. Many wounds appeared on his body, and blood dyed his body red. He screamed in horror and ran back. The surrounding experts were also shocked. This was a sword saint in the fifth heaven, and he was very strong. Just because he rushed over, such a scene happened. It was really unbelievable. Buzz, buzz, buzz. More people came from afar. They came close, and their eyes emitted a piercing light, which shocked the surrounding experts. They were young geniuses. They felt that the sword chi on these young people was even more terrifying than theirs. They should be the 7 swords of Tianshan from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Many people's eyelids twitched. Indeed, Lin Xian also saw them. They were also a few familiar faces. After the 7 swords of Tianshan arrived, they also frowned when they sensed the aura in front of them. The eldest of the Tianshan sect's sacred weapon was extremely solemn. The second of the Tianshan sect looked around and asked, "Big brother, should we join forces with these people?" There was no need. The eldest of the Tianshan sect snorted coldly. They didn't take these people's strength seriously. The 7 swords of Tianshan were so powerful that they didn't even care about the older generation. More experts appeared around them, but they were a little far away. They formed an arc and appeared in the nearby void. Gradually, the scene in front of them became more and more terrifying. The sword chi was like a sea, and the sea was so terrifying that everyone was shocked. In the endless sword chi, the faintly discernible sword shadow was really shocking. It had an endless mysterious aura. They had to go over. These people's eyes emitted piercing light. Only by getting close could they obtain the sword Dao treasure. After waiting for another 2 days, the surrounding experts couldn't hold it in any longer and were ready to make a move. 3 long swords appeared behind a sword saint and enveloped him. They formed a triangle and cut through the void. The sword light that blossomed at this moment was incomparable. However, it didn't take long for cracks to appear on the 3 saint artifacts. It was as if they were unable to withstand the boundless sea of swords before them. Damn it! The sword saint was instantly terrified. The surrounding people were shocked. However, these people who dared to come here were all experts. Let's go. A tall man with fiery red wings on his back opened his mouth and spat out a war chariot. This was a flaming war chariot that was burning fiercely. After he got on, the 2 people beside him also got on. The 3 of them tore through the void and rushed forward. The flames that filled the sky were attacked by the endless swords, but they were not damaged. The people in the distance shrieked. Their eyes were filled with envy. Let's go. On the other side, someone took out a golden cauldron. It kept getting bigger. Several figures stood up, tearing apart the void, rushing forward noisily. Everyone displayed their techniques one after another. Of course, some people's defenses were directly torn apart by the sea of swords midway and chopped into pieces. Their blood was dyed red and swallowed by the sword chi. It was extremely dangerous to pass through. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain also had flickering eyes. Let's go. The eldest, second, and third brothers of Heavenly Mountain formed a sword formation and rushed forward. Endless snowflakes floated out of their bodies, forming a terrifying world of ice. Lin Xian didn't see the others. They must be moving separately. Seeing these people display their techniques, Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing also prepared to move out. Lin Xian didn't dare to use the void beast hide again. He was afraid that this spatial treasure would be damaged. After all, the sea of swords ahead was too terrifying. He and Murong Qingqing rode on the black earth. They flew forward. Although the black earth wasn't as good as the Great Sage Tower, it wasn't an ordinary saint artifact. Its defense was extremely terrifying. After entering the Sea of Swords, they felt the terrifying aura around them. In the black earth, Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing also had solemn expressions. They formed a formation and constantly paid attention to the situation outside. Suddenly, they discovered that not far ahead, a monstrous sword wave suddenly surged out. It enveloped the 3 of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. What's going on? Is it an accident, or did someone attack? Lin Xian was shocked. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain also roared crazily. The eldest of the Heavenly Mountain roared as the sword qi on his body split open the sky. A blue sword light swept across the 9 heavens. The second and third brothers of Heavenly Mountain did the same. They all practiced the Heavenly Mountain sword technique, which belonged to the same power. Therefore, at this moment, the 3 of them performed the Heavenly Mountain sword technique together, forming a terrifying ice sword qi. They resisted the surrounding sea of swords. Chapter 39:54. They wanted to make a move, but they soon realized that it wasn't a purple gourd. Instead, it was a white shadow that looked like a white spirit boat. Those were bones. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. He could see that those were white bone spirit boats made of white bones. Not only that, they could also feel the cold, murderous aura coming from the white bone spirit boats. Brother Xian, there didn't seem to be any living people on it. Murong Qingqing was also beautiful and compact. Lin Xian also felt that such a cold aura wasn't suitable for people to go up. Could it be the guardian of this place? Lin Xian guessed. Murong Qingqing's body flickered with 7-colored light. She said that it might not be. Perhaps someone else had secretly made a move. Brother Xian, have you heard of the Netherworld Hall? The Netherworld Hall? Never heard of it. Lin Xian shook his head. Murong Qingqing said. The Netherworld Hall was also one of the holy cities, and they were very strong. They cultivated a cold aura, and it was even rumored that they could control ghosts. This wasn't the first time this Sea of Swords had been opened, right? In the past, there would have been countless experts who would have come here. After some experts died, their corpses were swallowed by the Sea of Swords. Over the past 10,000 years, who knew how many corpses of experts had been hidden? Perhaps the people of the Netherworld Hall had come and secretly controlled these corpses. They were attacking us. After hearing Murong Qingqing's analysis, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. If it was really the Netherworld Hall, it might really be possible. Other than them, the others were also attacked. Some people screamed, "Get out of the way! Don't be disturbed by those bone overlords." Some people roared, "Damn Netherworld Hall! Come out and fight us head-on." It was useless. Those bone spirit boats were made of countless bones. There were also bone palaces on them, and many bone creatures rushed out from them. They were also made of bones, but they were in strange shapes. After all, after so many years, it was impossible for the corpses to be completely preserved. In addition, someone was controlling them. Therefore, different bones combined together to form the white bone life spirits. Although they looked strange, their auras were incomparably terrifying. These were the corpses of saints, and some of them were even powerful sword saints. The forest of bones charged over, their yin qi overflowing. Terrifying energy and laws surged. The purple gourd in front snorted coldly. The person on top of it cast a spell. The purple gourd spewed out purple flames that engulfed the entire sky. The two ancient white boats were instantly engulfed by the purple flames. On the other side, the golden cauldron was just as aggressive as it charged forward. The white-boned spiritual boat was smashed into pieces. The others also attacked one after another. Lin Xian also unleashed a law attack. The danger had been resolved. Do you think you can trap us with mere bones? Those people sneered as they didn't know what was good for them. However, very soon, he could no longer smile. After the white-boned forest states disappeared, countless black shadows appeared in the surroundings. They rushed over. The white-boned spirit boats were densely packed. There were at least 1,000 of them. Above them, there was an endless army of skeletons. Damn it! Why are there so many of them? This time, the sages felt their scalps go numb. They didn't care about the previous dozen or so sages. But now, there were more than 1,000, and even more. They couldn't help but be shocked. The number of skeletons was hundreds of times greater than theirs. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing's expressions also became extremely ugly. They didn't know how many powerhouses had come to the Netherworld Hall to be able to control so many skeletons. It seems that we have no choice but to make a move. Lin Xian looked at Murong Qingqing. Then, the two of them took a deep breath and began to attack. A great battle broke out. Thousands of white-boned spirit boats rushed over and engulfed everything. These people fought back frantically. The battle lasted for 5 days and 5 nights. Some people tore through countless skeletons and fought their way out. Some people were swallowed up by the army of skeletons and completely lost their lives. On the 6th day, when the sun rose, the skeletons sank into the sword chi and disappeared. Those who were still alive heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing retreated. Their faces were a little pale, but they were not injured. Both of them were very powerful. It was just that the 5 days of fighting had exhausted them a little, that was all. Murong Qingqing took a pill, and Lin Xian took out a few roasted beasts. Eat that to recover quickly. In the following period of time, everything was calm and peaceful. Finally, on this day, they arrived. At this moment, the sages were all recovering. However, when they arrived, they opened their eyes one after another. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing also stood up and looked ahead. In the next moment, they were stunned. What was going on? Lin Xian was stunned. Murong Qingqing was also shocked. Am I seeing things? The other powerhouses were also stunned. Even the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain were extremely shocked. How was that possible? Wasn't that a gigantic sword? Why was it only a broken sword? Previously, when they were watching from afar, it was a stone tablet in the shape of a gigantic sword. However, when they came closer, they saw a stone sword in front of them. It was only 3 feet long, and half of it was broken. It was floating there, emitting a mysterious aura. The scene was really too strange. Was it a hallucination? One of the sages decided to try. With the pagoda above his head, he carefully walked forward. As soon as he got close to the pagoda, his body instantly shrank. In the end, he shrank like an ant. What was going on? The others were also terrified. The shrunken sage was sucked into the broken sword and disappeared. Would it be dangerous? After waiting for a long time, they did not see the other party come out. They were very puzzled. The powerhouses began to analyze. Perhaps the laws inside were too powerful and affected the laws of heaven and earth. That's why we got closer and shrank our bodies according to its laws. There should be a world inside the broken sword. Perhaps the fortune was inside. Those people were all excited. Let's go. Some of them could not wait any longer. The others also had burning gazes. It was worth the risk for the fortune inside. Charge. Many people swayed. However, at that moment, a blue sword light descended from the sky. One of the people's body was frozen and then broken. Damn it! Who attacked? Their companions screamed crazily. Then, they saw 3 people surrounded by icy sword chi. The voice was cold. Get lost if you don't want to die. Damn it! The companions who were killed roared crazily. How dare you attack us? They were really angry. However, what welcomed them was sword chi that filled the sky. The entire world turned into ice. Their movements became very slow. Even the speed of the circulation of their power slowed down. Oh no, it's only the Sky Mountain sword technique. Are they the 7 swords of Sky Mountain? Many people felt their scalps go numb and they frantically retreated. The 7 swords of Sky Mountain were so terrifying that they did not dare to fight back. The leader of the Sky Mountain sword technique snorted coldly. Since you know who I am, get lost. Chapter 39:55. I also think it's time to clear out a batch of trash. The figures sitting on the purple gourd sneered. They suddenly activated the gourd and shot out purple flames. The battle broke out just like that. With the treasure in front of them, they definitely wanted to get rid of the dissidents and monopolize the treasure. Therefore, after the purple gourd, the golden cauldron also began to go on a rampage. Those who were weaker were directly smashed into a bloody mist. In an instant, monstrous laws swept out in all directions. Terrifying sword chi, ice, and flames surged in the sky. You can't even withstand a single blow. There were 5 people standing on the purple gourd. Their eyes were filled with disdain. Suddenly, one of them turned his head and looked behind him. There were purple flames in his eyes. That person is still alive. Hearing his companion's words, the others turned their heads and saw a spirit ship bobbing up and down behind them. This spirit ship could dodge their attacks previously, but they didn't pay much attention to it. They just didn't expect that in such a chaotic battle, that person is still alive. I don't like him. Let's kill him, that person said. Then, a flame rose from the purple gourd and rushed to the back. The black earth was constantly flashing, sometimes attacking, sometimes defending. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing weren't surprised by this sudden battle. They were all people who had experienced hundreds of battles and had long seen the biting cold methods of these experts. Therefore, they were also attacking aggressively. Suddenly, the temperature of the black earth suddenly rose, and white smoke even appeared in the internal space. What's going on? Someone is attacking them, and it's an extremely terrifying flame. Murong Qingqing snorted and shot out a 7-colored light. Immediately, the 7-colored light collided with the purple flames. It blocked the flames outside. Lin Xian frowned. Is it the purple gourd? These people are courting death. I'll fulfill their wishes. They're not dead. The person on the gourd was surprised. Interesting. The person inside actually has some means to block our purple ethereal heavenly fire. Come out if you have the guts and play with me. A man rushed out. He was wearing purple armor and holding a purple-red longsword in his hand. He rushed towards the black earth. Under the sword battle, the purple flames that filled the sky jumped and hacked at the black earth, producing a sonorous sound. Ant, come out and accept your death. This purple-armored man was extremely arrogant. Wong. Inside the black earth, Lin Xian coldly snorted. He moved. In an instant, he rushed out, turning into a peerless streak of sword light, tearing apart the 9 heavens. The armored man originally had a look of disdain on his face, but the aura coming from below caused his expression to change drastically. Damn it, I was too careless. This is an expert. In an instant, he felt a powerful nomological power rushing towards him. He wanted to retreat, but it was too late. In a hurry, he could only attack to defend himself. The purple flames that filled the sky danced on his body, forming a purple shield. It was simple and unadorned. Boom. Clanging sounds could be heard, followed by miserable screams. The purple shield was instantly split into 2 halves. Not only that, but the man's purple armor was also shattering. His entire body was split apart by the sword. Blood dyed the void red. How was this possible? In the distance, those people on the gourd were stunned. The experts who were fighting in the surroundings also exclaimed. This sword made their hair stand on end. It seemed that there was another hidden expert. The purple gourd released a terrifying cloud of fire, enveloping the injured man and bringing him back. At the same time, the saints on the gourd roared. Who dares to hurt our purple void temple? Do you want to die? Their gazes were fixed on the black spirit ship. The others were also shocked. The Purple Void Temple was also a terrifying sacred city. These were all top experts of the Purple Void Temple, but they were easily injured at this moment. Who was inside the Black Spirit ship? Was the Purple Void Temple very impressive? My Wushuang City has never been afraid of a fight. A cold voice came from the Black Spirit ship. After the surrounding people heard it, they were also shocked. Wushuang City, this was actually someone from Wushuang City. They were too surprised. The people of the Purple Void Temple were also stunned. It seemed that the other party was also from the Sacred City. What surprised them was that there were any powerful people in Wushuang City recently. If it was the second-generation disciples, then there was indeed a group of powerful experts that terrified them. But the third-generation disciples had only been there for a few years. They might not even have mastered the secret technique, but they dared to show off in front of them. However, some people were also shocked. Could the genius of Wushuang City be Lin Wudi? At the mention of this name, their bodies began to tremble. If it was really him, then they would be in danger. It was impossible. Some people shook their heads. How could that kid be here? That kid was blocked in the Yin Yang Hall and couldn't come out. If he came out, he would die. Indeed, the others knew about what happened in the Yin Yang Hall. If there was one person who was least likely to be here, it would be Lin Wudi. So, they were all relieved. It was just Wushuang City. Other than Lin Wudi, they didn't care about anyone else. Since it wasn't Lin Wudi, then die. On the purple gourd, the saints of the Purple Void Temple snorted. They spat out terrifying flames again. The raging flames swept toward the black earth. However, an extremely terrifying sword chi came out of the black earth. The sword broke the 9 heavens. The flames in the sky were torn apart. The purple gourd was sent flying. The people on the ground felt their blood boil. Some even vomited blood. Damn it! How could he be so strong? He was a top sword saint. Everyone screamed. The faces of the people from the Purple Void Temple were also gloomy. Damn it! Who was the opponent? Did Wushuang City already have such a terrifying existence? Boom! At this moment, the 7 swords of Tianshan attacked. The terrifying Tianshan sword technique descended from the sky. It carried an icy aura that froze everything. The space in front of them was instantly covered in a thick layer of ice that spread for thousands of miles. The black earth was sealed in ice. The 7-colored light rotated, and the surrounding ice shattered instantly. Furthermore, it completely blocked the icy aura. It could even block the Tianshan sword technique. The people around them were shocked. The 7 swords of Tianshan were gloomy. At this moment, a golden light cut through the black earth. With a clang, the black earth was sent flying. It was a golden cauldron that shattered the sky. That terrifying power caused everyone to tremble. This time, the saint artifact should be shattered, right? Many people swallowed their saliva. They knew that there were a few in the golden cauldron. It was incredible. They weren't from the sacred city, but they were members of the 10,000 ancient races. Golden ants. This group of ants had immense strength. They were mutants. At this moment, their combined attack could probably shatter a saint artifact. Their attacks became even more terrifying. However, at this moment, a green wave of light rushed over and attacked their souls. These people were trembling, their souls wounded. Damn it, ocular technique. They were terrified. They didn't expect that the other party would have such a terrifying soul attack. For a moment, they all fell for the trap. A gap appeared in the sky, and the black earth rushed in. After entering, they discovered that there was indeed another space inside the broken sword. It was very spacious inside. The person who came in earlier was already dead. His body was cut in half at the waist and fell to the ground. His eyes were wide open, and it seemed like he had been dead for a long time. This caused Lin Xin to be shocked. It seems that this space was not safe. There should be some kind of terrifying trap or array formation. The others also followed in. When they arrived and saw that the person who came in earlier had been killed, they all heaved a sigh of relief. This meant that the creation had not been taken away by others. they discovered that there was a pavilion in front of them that was completely formed by sword chi. Sword Rain Pavilion. That pavilion was too majestic, and the aura on it was incomparable. The sun, moon, and stars revolved within the sword chi. It was like a universe. There was indeed a creation inside. Hurry up and rush over. The Black Earth moved quickly. How dare you? The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain executed a terrifying ice sword technique, freezing everything and blocking it. The Black Earth's speed slowed down, but when the 7-colored radiance appeared and shattered the ice, its speed increased again. Other than the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain, the others also attacked crazily. It was impossible for them to let the other party succeed. The Black Earth was trembling from the attacks, especially when the other members of the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain arrived. They attacked together, and the Black Earth was sealed in ice. Even Murong Qingcheng could not melt the ice in a short time. Boom! Lin Xian snorted coldly and struck out with his palm. The solar law spread out and melted the ice. At the same time, the 9 Yang Divine Fire and the Purple Void Heavenly Fire collided. Brother Xian, I'll help you block it. Hurry up and go to the Sword Rain Pavilion in front, Murong Qingcheng said. After Lin Xian heard this, he was a little worried. Can I? Brother Xian, trust me, it won't be a problem. All right, I'll leave this to you. Lin Xian left the Great Sage Pagoda to Murong Qingcheng. Then, he turned into a stream of light and rushed forward. Damn it, he abandoned the spirit boat and wanted to rush forward alone. He would not let him succeed. The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain, Golden Ant, and Purple Void Temple attacked crazily. However, at this moment, a 7-colored light appeared in the spirit boat, blocking all the attacks. What was going on? There was actually someone in the spirit boat. It was not a person. They were stunned. Your opponent is me. A cold voice came from the Black Earth. It was abnormally pleasant to the ears. The surrounding people were surprised. It was a woman. A woman wants to compete with us? The 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain and the others sneered disdainfully. In the next moment, their pupils constricted. A phoenix. They saw a 7-colored phoenix covering the sky and the earth. It shrouded the front and cut off the sky. Damn it! Attack! They were really angry. With that person's speed, he would probably rush into the Sword Rain Pavilion soon. Kill. These powerhouses attacked together, and the 7-colored phoenix in the sky fought against them. The battle between the two sides was extremely intense. Murong Qingcheng was indeed very strong. She was able to block so many powerhouses. However, the phoenix's silhouette gradually dimmed. There was no other way. The surrounding powerhouses were too strong, especially the 7 swords of Heavenly Mountain. The 5 of them were terrifying when they joined forces. Not to mention the Golden Ant and the powerhouses of the Purple Void Temple. There were even other powerhouses besieging her. Murong Qingcheng was already very heaven-defying to be able to hold on until now. However, at this moment, the 7-colored phoenix was destroyed by someone. Light scattered all over the sky. Great, I'll kill her. They rushed in. They did not care about a mere spirit boat. Boom. They were sent flying. A pagoda appeared and blocked all their attacks. Lin Xian was still a little worried at first. However, when he saw Murong Qingcheng's strength, he heaved a sigh of relief. Even if this girl's strength was not as strong as his, it was probably not too far off. She should have no problem resisting these people. He should get the opportunity as soon as possible and then go to support her. He rushed towards the Sword Rain Pavilion. When he got close, his pupils constricted, and he instantly used the Void Escape. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.